Yeah, it's the Bennington Show. Monday, post-Oscar day. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
I'm Ron Bennington. A little bit of an Oscar hangover, as they say.
I know.
That's our Super Bowl, says every gay person.
And me.
And I'm also like, don't you say that about the Tonys, too, though?
Mm-hmm. We have a couple Super Bowls.
All right. Scale of 0 to 10. We'll go around the room. How happy were you with the Oscars? First of all, Vito, you always seem to have the finger of the pulse of the new millennials. 0 to 10, the Oscars last night.
7 for me.
7. Gail.
There was a lot of great movies nominated. Quite a few people I liked won, so I'll go like 7.5.
7.5.
Yeah, I'll give it 7.5. But I will say some of the bigger awards went to things I was not thrilled about.
And also, there was no surprises. I mean, there was literally, you could have, at least with the major awards, said, all right, who cares? Chris, 0 to 10.
I give it a 0.
Wow, finally an honest man.
Poor
0.
Town.
I don't
And
think
Be
it's
honest. Be honest.
No.
though.
The only good part I enjoyed was the dude who never won for cinematography winning cinematography.
I agree. That was the highlight of the night, wasn't
Yeah,
That guy was great.
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
I
was-
love him.
And he also has shot some of my just favorite movies that are just, it's one of those things where you're like, first of all, I didn't know he was over 14. And
Yeah.
second of all, I'm like, when we put his resume together, I'm like, well, you beat up on a lot of people as it is already.
Right.
So enjoy what you have. And thank you for not thanking the director. I like a
mostly
director
me.
of photography who doesn't give a shit.
And then he thanks his wife and then says, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
It's like,
hysterical.
whatever.
It's like he's from the United States or whatever, that dude.
It's my United
What did you think of Kimmel last night?
I thought, I felt like nothing. Which is like, I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't think it was great.
Yeah, I thought it was just like a barely passing kind of thing.
Populist.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, tell me what the big things are, and I'll say it like late night hosts do. First of all, this is the thing about Jimmy Kimmel. Because you're bringing up the women's issues, by the time we bring out fucking Harvey Weinstein's three rape victims, no one cares. You've stole their fucking heat
right.
by your, acting like you could do. Saying that you wish you were a woman, it's just not true, dude. Do not, you know what I mean? Like, and fuck the women who clap for that. It's stupid.
I know.
This is the same guy who had the man show. It's the exact opposite of wishing that he was a woman. And then after that, he was the guy who, after the show, sat down with the Kelly Ripa's partner,
Seacrest out.
And that played on the show today. He did like 10, 15 minutes with
Did
them.
he?
Yes, because they're both ABC guys. And he got the ABC call.
Yeah.
And off he went.
I thought pretty much everything he did was like non-offensive. And I don't mean like in the way that it's like it didn't offend, but it was just like it wasn't too far out in any
typical late night
direction.
stuff.
Yeah. And I thought, it would just be like, hey, some woke stuff and then like a light joke about said woke stuff.
How about taking even the other angle of the woke stuff? You know what I mean? You're a guy. You're not the woman. You've had opportunities for years to speak out from women and never did.
Right.
I'm going to give Frances McDormand the same fucking gimmick of, what's this writer? What is it? The diversity writer? The inclusion writer?
The inclusion writer.
Yeah, the inclusion writer.
How about handing it to your fucking husband? I haven't seen a lot of minorities in his movies.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. Fantastic movies, by the way. And at best, women, including Frances, get to be most of the time a co-star in those movies. You know what I mean? The one time that Frances was the star,
Yeah.
she won an Oscar for Fargo. Why does that happen again? Why can't you write another Frances movie?
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot of that stuff that just is a setup. Now I watched Fox News on purpose today to enjoy some of the shit there. Number one,
Too woke.
no, they found the hot dog gun in bad taste after everything that's happened.
Interesting. That I
Recently.
did not see.
Yeah, I
coming.
didn't see it coming, but that whole bit is elitist and it comes off bad. You know what I mean?
I hate that bit.
Everyone does, and it's not an Oscar bit, it's a fucking Jimmy Kimmel bit. You know what I mean? He does it on his TV show, and he does it here. But it does look like, look, they think they're better than us. But that's a straight Kimmel bit. But then this was my favorite thing that they were upset about. Why didn't anybody, when there was a salute to military films, why wasn't there a standing ovation for that? You stood up for every old lady.
Interesting. I guess I didn't think of it.
Yeah.
Maybe if they had brought those actors out, maybe they would have get a
lot of those actors are the reasons why we have our freedoms today.
The problem is that, yeah, they are just portraying movies. And again, you're talking about a live moment versus no one's going to stand up for a clip.
I've never stood up for a clip in my life.
I mean, it's just not dramatic enough.
How did you like the guy, Eddie Vedder, singing the Tom Petty song?
I like
Why we like the dead people.
It was very strange, but I like seeing, like this little live music.
It sounds like you could at least give it a 1 of 100,
no,
not a
it gets 0 because I forgot about the theater bit with the hot dog guns, and that gives Jimmy Kimmel a failing grade. So I didn't like him at all because I forgot about that, and it was just so.
Well,
dumb.
first of all, you had a 0. That's always been a failing grade. Vito, you look like you want to say something.
I was really pissed that he didn't go with Lakeith Stanfield's bit when Lakeith Stanfield came out, and then he acted like he didn't know where to go and was just wandering around the stage. And Jimmy looked terrified to go off cue.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a bit. I think he thought that fucking dude was taking over the show. What's his name? Because I love him.
Lakeith Stanfield.
It's too hard of a name for me. We got to come up with a nickname for him. Because he's great in everything that he does.
That thing last night, just watching him wander around, and then like he did the thing at an award show like a few years ago where he stormed the stage when Silicon Valley won.
I didn't know that was him.
That was him when he went up and said, "Thanks, man, Silicon Valley. We worked really hard on this."
That's fucking great. I remember that. It was an Emmys, right?
Yeah. It was the Emmys or the Gold. It was one of those. But that guy's amazing.
He's great. He's great in everything he fucking does.
Yeah, and Atlanta's
just needs a better name. Lakeith.
Lakeith?
Lakeith.
So it's just Keith, like it's like French Keith.
Lakeith. Lacop. 844 Rock God. 844 Rock God. Phone lines are open. Pick up your phone. John in Tampa. John.
Hey guys, Ron, wondering how you liked the movie, and just wanted to congratulate Chris Stanley on totally missing the best movie of the year. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and but also wanted to give a shout out. We got Nick DiPaolo coming down Friday and Saturday before he hits the big theaters. He's playing 2 nights in Tampa. So
yeah, he told me about that. That's going to be a great chance. He's on fire right now. And I would have liked to have watched the Oscars with him last night, tell you the truth.
I think so, too. I think that would be a very enjoyable experience.
The thing is, the Oscars were pushing me more into Apollo Field. You know what I mean? All right, so your thing is because Chris hated Shape of Water.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the director, and I think he's got a great, beautiful vision. All of his movies are really cool looking, and I don't know if it was Chris watching it on his phone or what it was.
I did see the movie on Saturday. Went in to hate it the way you and Fez both told me to. Ended up liking it.
Yeah,
my chick loved it.
Yeah,
loved it. So I mean, from the way it was shot and the way that it, the story is an odd one. But I give him credit because it isn't all CGI. You know what I mean? He's using some kind of cinema magic. You know what I mean? Not just computer magic. But here's the other interesting thing. I don't know whether anybody knows this. In the last 5 years, 4 of the best directors that won the Oscars have been Mexican.
Really?
4 of the last 5. Hashtag woke.
That is pretty woke.
Yeah. All bad movies.
Yeah, I was
all
gonna
bad
say.
movies. Birdman and all that kind of shit.
I did not enjoy The Shape of Water.
I know you didn't. What did you hate?
I don't know if it was just the fact that I watched it too close to the Oscars, and so therefore I was comparing it to all the movies I had just played catch up on the last week. I just watched Phantom Thread this last week and Call Me by Your Name, and so maybe it was unfair because I was comparing it to does it stand up to these last couple that I watched that I liked. But maybe if I watched this at a different time and just caught it, I could have had a different experience.
I had no problem that he was best director, best movie, I'm not sure I would have. I would have liked to have seen that as Split. And, I just want to know who fucked over Paul Thomas Anderson so bad this last time. A friend of mine sent me her Oscar ballot, Jenny Q.
Yeah.
And she goes, I didn't bother watching the Daniel Day-Lewis fucking So's thing. And I'm like, oh, that's almost exactly the Jennifer Lawrence. Now, this Jennifer Lawrence has a lot of fucking heat out there.
She does.
With all the girls thinking, she's a cool girl. Her movies stink one after another. Stink. And her disparaging, I'll just say one more time, that film is everything that's wrong with fucking Hollywood. Everything. That film was great. And the two women's roles were unbelievable.
They were really, really strong. I think that it's really tricky. It's between those two movies what maybe ended up being my favorite. But I might give a slight edge to Phantom Thread because I just was kind of.
What was the other movie? That was
Call Me by Your Name, which was just like it just.
Did that win anything big?
Me.
It won nothing.
Nothing?
It didn't win anything. It was
very surprising.
I thought there was one thing.
It won screenplay because the guy went up wearing Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, that was the old guy from the Merchant films. What's his name? Larry Merchant. What are they made 1 million films.
Yeah, and this is his first
Merchant
win.
Ivory. Yeah, Merchant Ivory. So to be that old. First of all, to be that old and write a fucking killer.
Yeah. James Ivory.
Yeah. To write a killer fucking screenplay is amazing.
Yeah.
Because, you start to lose a little off the fucking fastball. But, that was a good moment last night, too.
That was great,
and the cinematographer, the thing that Chris didn't remember his name. It's like Deakins or something like that.
Yeah.
Deaker.
So there were definitely some wins that were exciting I couldn't call it like a worse night or anything.
Right. The Get Out screenplay was
very exciting.
I definitely would have given it to Greta Gerwig.
That was my pick. Yeah.
Fucking shut out.
She was
ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm happy that the both of them got nominations, and I'm happy that they were both there. But I kind of was thinking that they were going to throw that to one of the two of them, but I thought it was going to be her. But I'm not unhappy that it was him. I thought it was a great screenplay, and
maybe I should start something called Girl Oscars. You know what I mean?
I would love that. Yeah. And then when Francis says everyone stands up, then we're all.
If I was there, I would have stood up anyway, and I would just start waving. And then later. I was like, I thought we were all supposed to stand up. I wasn't paying attention.
You said all the nominees, did you?
Don't you want the nominees up? I know she didn't even turn around and give Sam Rockwell a pound. She left him hanging.
Yeah.
And then he gave her the I got my eyes on you from that fucking bit. It is dumb the way you end up rooting against people that you normally like. You know what I mean? Like, by the end of it, I wasn't rooting for Frances. I was rooting for the other girl. I'll just Lady Bird.
Yes, Saoirse Ronan.
I wasn't rooting for Sam Rockwell.
I was very happy that Sam Rockwell won. That was what I liked about the movie, was those performances I liked best. So if there was anything to be to actually win for, it would be those performances. So I'm happy for both of them.
Yeah, but now we can never say Sam Rockwell stole the movie because he's an Oscar winner.
Right.
Do you feel a little bad for Woody Harrelson, the only fucking major actor in that movie, just sitting there fucking pulling on his dick?
Slackjawed.
I would have given it to the little girl that was murdered in that too. I thought she did a great job.
She was in one scene.
I wish they would have look. If you're going to have a short documentary, which is basically a Vice episode, and give it to Kobe Bryant for writing a fucking. I can't use the other F word anymore. I don't know what else to call it.
I can't believe that thing won up against like a Pixar fucking short.
Because no one watches that, but they all live in L.A. and they go, Kobe Bryant. I know that name from somewhere. He's a local boy, done good. But then you might as well have Day Player. I mean, I would rather see the Day Player award. Somebody who gets one scene in a movie and fucking crushes it.
That would be so good. But yeah, when we were doing our Oscar ballots and our pick, I picked that short to win because I was like, they're gonna give this to Kobe. They want to see Kobe walk up there.
The iBang has comedians tweeting, and my favorite. Well, we had two Oscar winners drop by. Out of the 4 categories for acting, we had 2 of them here.
Yeah, that's
We
very
had
exciting.
Gary Oldman, thanks to a listener. And the other one was...
Allison Janney.
Okay. Up on the iBang, when the comedians are talking, they're saying, congratulations for Allison Janney for having her, like, upright citizen brigade character. You know what I mean? Because there was no point. It's really a good point that fucking part ever felt like a real human being. You know what I mean? That was the over-the-top sketch character.
Oh, that was Kate Berlant who said that. Sorry,
Kate.
but Janney's performance was pure groundlings.
I, Tanya winning must feel like a club to the heart of Nancy Kerrigan. Joel Kim Booster, congrats to Allison Janney, first actor to win an Oscar for playing an SNL character.
Harsh.
It's fucking true, though. Did you watch the movie?
I did.
At no point, even the way she was dressed,
Yeah.
that was SCTV.
She loves referencing that bird.
Oh, God.
I saw the movie a week before the Golden Globes, and I had no idea when she was talking about the bird throughout the whole Golden Globe speech.
You
didn't remember that she
I
had
didn't remember the name of the bird, and then when I looked it up, the name of the bird, I was like, oh yeah, she did have a bird on her shoulder in a few scenes.
You looked up the name of the bird?
Because she kept referencing it by name. She was like, and I wouldn't have been able to do this without George.
George. So that's everything about the Oscars, right? Is there anything left other than all 5 songs blow?
Yes. Although G Baby did tell us, "Remember Me" was going to take this one, the Coco song. Oh no! Wait, he picked the
yeah.
He picked "This Is Me."
"This Is Me." That was his big pick.
Which I wanted that fucking. I was waited all night for that song because I thought the star was going to come out and say it, and instead, I forgot the joke that I even did, but some other fucking character that some actress that had put on some weight. I go, why is she back here? Who was singing? I like the meanness of a good Oscar party.
Oh yeah, it's very fun.
I wouldn't tweet it. I wouldn't tweet anything that I said.
I don't want anyone to quote me on that stuff.
The Coco, when the Coco writers won the award, I did find it weird when they like shouted out their kids, and then they went, "But this isn't for you. This is for our parents."
It was terrible.
Mother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dad yelled at the mom. Looked back and went, "It's for you.
It's also for you."
Don't listen to him. He drinks like,
Weird.
like all
This is his
Mexican men.
mom.
He drinks quite a bit.
This isn't for you.
And I didn't see Shape of Water, but I felt like through all the clips they showed through the awards, I know everything that happened.
No, you don't. There's a giant fucking twist.
Oh,
that you
really?
don't believe that you won't believe. I'll just say this: somebody gets gills, and leave it at that.
Someone gets killed
You didn't
and
see that
someone
coming.
gets killed.
Yeah, it's gilled and killed. The Twitter attacked Kobe Bryant for being found innocent in 2003, and Gary Oldman for being found innocent in what 90?
Yeah.
When they were doing the nominations and I was waiting for Kobe to get the award, I thought, oh, if he wins, this is going to be a rough week for him.
Yeah, no, it won't. Nothing sticks to Kobe.
He hasn't had a rough week in a long time.
He's been fucking booed everywhere. You think anything could shake him? He could have fucking sat there and just fucking hit 2 free throws with everybody booing him. The guy's got ice water. Don Jamieson is stopping in the next hour. That's always fun. And Alex Babbitt is going to be here. He's considered one of the hot up-and-comers. Which,
Nice.
I'd like to see Chris get that
I
one
know.
time.
Why aren't you up and coming?
I don't know.
Where are you going?
Dude, I fucking needed to talk to Chris over the weekend because I didn't get this thing that was supposedly coming my way. So I text him, what was it, like 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yeah.
7 hours later, sorry, boss, I was taking a nap. He takes 7-hour naps.
I haven't been sleeping well, so my shit's all out of whack.
You
I
do a
wasn't
lot of
sleeping.
napping on
Yeah.
the weekends.
We need to be an overnight show. As a matter of fact, we start midnight tonight on the replays.
Woo!
And
Nice.
I definitely want to do a midnight show one night and then, replay that during the daytime.
I would love
Just to
that.
see if it's better. I have a feeling it's going to be a much funnier show.
I think it's going to be very silly. I mean, we got a couple of night owls on this show.
Yeah, we don't. All
Hoot, hoot.
night long. All night.
Let's open with that.
All night long. Why didn't that song win the Oscar last night? And isn't some point of that he tries to sound Jamaican in that song too?
Yeah.
People tell me.
I was at a wedding where they did that song this year, and
Place go crazy.
he didn't have an accent the whole wedding, and he goes, "Now let's all imagine that we're in Jamaica,"
Oh, no.
and then he goes, "Party, Karamo," and he starts walking.
Karamo.
He starts walking
Karamo.
through the.
What was he saying Karamo for?
Party, Karamo, fiesta,
Whatever.
and then he starts walking through the crowd
Who
like
said
it's
this,
fucking
Karamo?
cats.
Wedding singers are the fucking best. This is another thing Adam Sandler was right about. Did you hear about Adam Sandler doing that fucking show on the Upper East Side?
At the comic strip, right?
Yeah. Dropped in the comic strip.
That's awesome.
And shot a special. It's the second special at the comic strip. First Sandler, first Seinfeld, now Sandler. Now I was talking, that club was kind of teetering for a while, right? And I was talking to a young comic, and he goes, the fucking strip is killing lately. Everybody wants to go and see the place that Jerry Seinfeld did a special at.
Really?
And now Sandler's done one since.
Wow. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Get
Well,
that buzz going.
the guy Richie Tinkin who owns that place for 35, 40 years. He's one of the great characters, and right now he talks like this, Yeah, it was back then. But so he started that club, and then starts to manage Eddie Murphy, and he managed Eddie Murphy during all the shit that everybody remembers Eddie Murphy for, and you just think of him as like one of those real New York dudes,
Yeah.
And I think now that I don't even think that they called Richie and let him know it. I think he just showed up that night and the special
Nice.
was being shot. This is great, man. It's going to get Tuesdays going. Let me show you all these pictures. They've done documentaries about that club. And I just find it amazing. The two specials have been shot there. Just very recently, these two guys. Well, I think he managed Sandler for a while. And then when Sandler said, look, I got these big managers that want, take over my career, he goes, go. I didn't do it.
Really? Yeah.
Make it happen. I'm not going to fucking wrestle you over this. If that's what you want to do. So, man, I want to read, let's see, because, I don't know what I want to do. Maybe we save that for Jamieson. Because Vito had a very fucking funny idea the other day. And I'm not going to do it. Let's save it for Jamieson in a half an hour. Don Jamieson is stepping in. Hey, by the way, there is a great thing that they didn't run on SNL this weekend. It was was one of those things where they shoot it. I forget what they call those. They just shoot it. It's not live.
Digital shorts?
Yeah, I guess a visual short is the name of it. But it's about Star Wars and had Barkley in it, and it was funnier than anything that they ran on the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I didn't think it was the strongest show going, so I would have liked to.
It's on the iBank, Chris. You ever notice that he rushes to get whatever he can unless I bring it up? You know what I mean? But if I'm just sitting here and I go, I had a hoagie the other day, he's fucking doing wah-wah, and there's a picture of a hoagie behind me. But I'm literally saying a bit. You don't have to play the whole thing, but just play it a little bit. And Barkley, of course, is the focus here.
Hi, I'm J.J. Abrams. This summer, the second standalone Star Wars film, Solo, a Star Wars story directed by the great Ron Howard, will hit theaters. For the summer of 2019, get ready for a third. The Mos Eisley Five. It's a story of a group of smugglers hired by the rebellion who were instrumental in establishing the rebel base on Hoth. Here's an exclusive scene.
I don't like the look of this place, Gunda.
Neither do I. So we get in, make a deal for the rebel pilot, and we get out. follow my lead. State my business. I'm here to talk to Goba. Goba, looking handsome as ever. About that, I'm gonna have your money. I just need a little more time. Yeah, well, look who's talking, pal.
Thanks, but I don't date slugs.
Man, how y'all speak so many languages? This is crazy. I only speak human.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I can say where's the school in Zorba, Nagatala, but that's about it. These aliens are talking to you in their language, you answer them back in our language. Everybody understands each other. Makes me feel stupid. How'd y'all learn all this? What the hell are we laughing at?
He too thinks he's a bit of a comedian today.
Those beeps and stuff, that's him talking? I didn't know that. He's probably been trying to talk to me this whole time. I feel dumber than the dog guy.
Hey, easy, Dog Tada. He was just joking.
Wait, the dog guy talks too?
Yes, he speaks Shrywook.
See, I don't even know what that is. I thought he was just making dog noises. Man, I've said a lot of stuff in front of him. Private stuff.
Worry about that later. Right now, we have a business proposition for you, Goba. We're here to make a deal for your prisoner.
That goes on from there, but that's funny as shit, isn't it?
Dude, it's hilarious. No, like, the weird thing is, it's really funny, too. It's like a crazy amount of production went into that.
I know.
Then they cut it?
Yeah. Do you think that they always thought, like, this is going to do better online than on the show?
I guess maybe that's possible.
They
but
love going viral these days. I
think that my other favorite part of the show, and like I said, I didn't think it was a strong one, but I thought that the roach solution with guns was hilarious. And that was also a digital short.
Wait, that dog guy talks too? I've said a lot of stuff from him.
Private stuff. He's like, those beeps and boops that's talking?
Now I feel stupid.
I mean, it is really annoying that everyone speaks their own language, understands, and then responds back in English.
Yeah, that is annoying. You know what else is annoying? Star Wars.
It's like not even real.
No. And what do they mean a long time ago? All the shit was better then. Hey, Jen must have been so excited about her girl blowing up last night, right? Haddish?
Oh, yeah, Haddish.
Everybody's like, oh, I want Haddish to be my fucking spirit animal. Haddish needs to, and Maya Rudolph need to host the show next year. First of all, Maya Rudolph, way to turn the black on and off whenever it suits. She doesn't know. Only when she's with black women does she do. Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, Haddish was the big winner last night.
She really was. Everyone was. It's hard not to be charmed by her. And also, I think she was wearing the same dress from SNL that she also wore at the Golden Globes. That she just says she bought one nice dress and she just keeps wearing
like a regular person.
I know, it's awesome. And she's like, I look good in this dress. Why would I get a new one?
Well, it's unless you're buying it. You know what I mean? Like, if you have to buy it yourself, forget about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she said during her SNL monologue, this is an Alexander McQueen dress that I spent a lot of money on.
Good for her. No, look, he's going and getting the dress. No one's fucking asking for it. When I'm bringing up an actual fucking bit with audio, he's sitting there looking up like he's looking for the fucking dog star. What's the dog star anyway, Chris? Why are you always looking for it?
It's very interesting to me.
Find out what the name of the dog star is. I forgot it.
Dude,
you fucking work for Sirius. Okay? Jesus Christ.
He looked up the dog star.
You work for Sirius. Yes, or did until today.
Oh, God.
That was part of the quiz.
I'm sending this clip down the hall. All the way down the hall. As far as we can go.
That's where it gets really serious, Chris.
All right, here's something that came up, and Vito actually sent this one in. The article you found is people no longer say you're welcome.
Yeah. So Now, when somebody says thank you, people feel uncomfortable saying you're welcome because they think it comes from like an arrogant place that you expected the thank you.
All right. So what do they say? Nothing?
So sometimes people say no problem, no worries, maybe no big deal.
All right. Now, do you say you're welcome to people?
I don't. It was really weird when I saw this article. I went, "Oh my God, I do not say you're welcome." And it's the same thing. If I hold the door for someone says thank you, I always say no problem. I never say you're welcome. I don't know why. And I guess exactly what you said. I guess I never really realized, but I think that the reason is I thought it sounded arrogant, like you are welcome for this wonderful gift I've given you. Instead, it's just like, hey, this isn't a big deal.
Chris,
this is just a thing.
Someone holds open the door. What do you say?
I say, if I'm holding the door for someone, if it's a stranger,
thank you.
I say thank you.
No, he just said thank you to you.
To the show. Why haven't you looked this up?
I say you're welcome.
No, you don't.
First of all, you don't say anything.
First of all, you don't hold open the door for people.
That never will happen.
I say no problemo, mamacita.
I just say, hey, that's what I do.
I like to say this. Don't worry, I'm enjoying the view of you walking by. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I'll say it like this. Shakes it, don't breaks it. But if you do, save a piece for daddy. I don't think it comes off too creepy either.
No, I mean, it's definitely better than you're welcome.
Yeah, way better than you're welcome. I think I say no worries a lot, though.
Yeah.
I say all good.
No, come on.
You never
Hold
do.
on. Okay. I mean, just listen. You have just held the door for me. I say thank you, and you say, all good.
No, I don't say it like that.
That just
I don't
sounds
go
right
all
this time.
good. I
She's
don't
been wrong
Just
about
say it how
all
you.
the-
Okay, so you held the door. I say thank you.
all good.
No, you don't.
No,
Bullshit.
I've never heard you say this. This
know
is really
you.
bothering me.
I say all good because I went to an orientation one time where they said never say no problem because in customer service there should never be a no and there should never be a problem.
All right, first of all, don't yell it.
Yeah, why
if
are
you're
you
talking
yelling
about
at
customer
us?
service, stop screaming down. The fact that you went to one orientation, now you carry it around like it's the Bible,
It's a chip on my
just goes
shoulder.
to show you how fucking just. Wait a minute, what's going on right now? Okay.
Trump says.
I'll get all you
maybe go-
motherfuckers. I'll destroy this country before I
Israel.
give in a second. Trump says he might go to the embassy moving in Jerusalem. He loves that.
And then he'll say, you're welcome. You're welcome for what I've done.
All good.
It's all good.
As I learned once in an orientation, never use no and never use problem.
But did they also tell you not to point at people when you're speaking to them? They told me.
I know.
He's pointing at us,
Felt like
yelling.
a fucking rape victim.
I know.
I felt like you
sorry.
just got done jizzing deep inside me.
You need that, like, Bill Clinton thing where you're just like, you're not pointing, but you're just like shaking that weird little thumb at someone.
Yeah. Then again, on his worst day ever, he fucking pointed, Clinton. He goes, I did not have sex with that woman.
Oh, he pointed when he said that?
Pointed at the fucking, at the camera. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, if you go back and watch it, because your mother lost her shit. She was yelling out, who are you pointing at? And I was like, let's just all settle down now, okay? Not saying Clinton's right, but... if I can go to Jerusalem for the opening wall, I will. Of the embassy opening, I will. Looks like his new country is just called Navy. He's sitting in front of a flag that says Navy. You'd think that the United States flag would be enough for all the military branches.
Yeah, but they all need their own private flags.
I guess. I had this thought about Francis Scott Key, like when he first wrote, and I brought this up at a dinner party last night. Went nowhere. But here's the thing. So when Francis, this is my impression of Francis Scott Key. All right, I just wrote it. You know who he is, by the way, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I just worried with you.
That was
He's the guy that invented the key. No, Chris, he's not. This is Francis Scott Key. I just wrote a new song, and whenever I play it, I'd like everyone to stand up. Speaking of which, that thing with Elton John was my favorite fucking thing over the weekend. Elton John melts down during Saturday. Did you see it?
I didn't see it.
All right, so he does this thing all the time. I mean, his crowd's a little old, obviously, and he invites them on stage. I mean, it's all ages, but there's a lot of elderly there.
Okay.
There's a lot of people his age. So he invites them on stage to all stand around the piano for Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. I guess certain people are jealous. Go ahead, hit it, Chris. So you can say, now a couple things to say. First of all, look how hard it is for this guy to get on the stage.
Oh,
look
yeah.
at him.
Oh, my
Hold it.
goodness.
So this guy right here, this Paulo-looking prick, keeps leaning over and
Grab
touching
it.
him. He just wants to keep touching Elton. Why you keep touching?
Why does he continue?
You can see Elton starting to get annoyed.
Yeah.
Look, he's had it now.
Oh no.
Oh, shit.
And there he is. He just waddles off stage.
He's done
pissed.
with this shit.
Yeah. He's furious. Now also has a short fucking fuse. Now keep it up, Chris, because you can hear the audience. Listen to the audience talking.
That guy ruined it.
That guy
Good
ruined
job.
it.
Trying to high five him. I think he had enough.
What?
I think when the show's over.
Now Elton does return.
To somebody.
And listen to what he says when he gets back. He's not in the best mood about any of this.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
No, that to me was such a Fez line. You fucked it up, so it's never happening again.
That was so great.
Everyone blamed this guy because the thing that we all did is never happening.
It really reminded me almost of like a teacher when you're in school. Like, this dude fucked it up and now it's never happening again. You're all punished.
Yes.
And no one gets to be on stage for Saturday night. And that was something you all enjoyed.
Oh, Trump said this today. We're not backing down on tariffs. Fox was very, very tough on him over the weekend. They wanted him to not play around with the trade war stuff. Fox has been rough on Trump for the past week. First percent, he wants to come for our guns. And then, hey, I'm going to fuck with the money a little bit. Which, in his defense, he has said since Jump Street. I mean, go back and watch anything that he said during the elections, and he's going to renegotiate all of our deals.
Yes.
And there's going to be stiff fucking tariffs if anybody fucks with us.
I would be interested to hear from people who are Fox News viewers and also Trump supporters or Trump voters, like where they split on things like that. When they hear things, like when they see the people who maybe they've followed for the past, 10 years watching their show or whatever.
No, they've all moved over to Trumpskis.
Okay.
The Republican Party, whatever it was before, the Conservative Party is now the Trump Party.
Yeah.
They said there is, the amount of like so-called leaders of that are gone now. Bill Kristol and people like that. The Bush family. They're done with the Bush family, the Republicans.
I know.
They're done with John McCain. They booed. John McCain he's laying there, getting his brain cancer medicine. They booed him at CPAC. So there's no doubt that this is a clear win by Trump over that party. The infrastructure of that party. Once Reince Priebus went with him, I think that was it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the head of the GOP, and he quit that job to become Trump's guy. And then Trump fired him, and he's still with Trump. One of the things I like about Trump, when he fires people, they still like him. They're like, he treated me like the piece of shit that I needed to be treated as. He's right. I'm a fucking garbage mouth, and I should have trash in my mouth. Hey, Chris, I want to point this out. You did actually get the Elton John thing in what I would say timely manner.
All right.
It was right there waiting for us.
First, we had to look at fucking album covers of Yellow Brick Road. Because your first instinct is go to images.
Yeah, always.
I don't know why.
I feel like it's helpful.
It hasn't been. I mean, it is an audio show. You know what I mean? Audio would be the way to go. Maybe you'll figure that during your 7-hour nap. You should be napping right now, right? This is the middle of your nap time.
Throw it off.
Chris and I are doing a big special. We might even have to, because satellite time interrupts our show on Wednesday. We might even have to have a best of on Wednesday.
But it is for a very cool special coming up.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing, and Chris has been running our side of it. So they pitch the special, then they go, just do what you want. I go, this isn't my idea, though. If I did what I want, we'd be doing a totally different show, probably. You know, everyone stand up right now. All the women stand up. How come we haven't gotten Jen on even once today, even though I brought up the Haddish stuff with her? Is it you,
He's blocking the mic.
man fucking spreading your way out of there?
He does. Takes up a lot of room on that mic.
Why doesn't Jen have her own mic?
I know.
And now she's got to put in your greasy fucking headphones, and I see that she's nervous about it.
I could see.
You like having the grease ears, Jen?
Yeah.
Why don't you just rub ears with him? How'd you like Haddish last night?
I loved her.
Who was the best dressed all night? Did they even pick?
I don't know what they picked, but
What about in your opinion?
I really liked I forget her name. Oh gosh, from I, Tanya.
Oh yeah, Margot Robbie.
Yeah, well,
She looked great.
She looks great in jeans, though. It's cheating.
I thought that shit. Now I'm forgetting.
What's with all the men wearing smoking jackets wherever they go?
It was everyone
what
was
happened
wearing
to the fucking classic tux?
velvet jackets.
Yeah.
They were wearing suit pants.
Yeah. Everything they had looked like you should be smoking a pipe in the 50s.
Yeah.
Now,
I thought Nicole Kidman. I think was it Nicole Kidman who had the big blue?
No, that was Ben Affleck's ex-wife.
Oh yeah.
And she's going viral for making a face. She made it like a what the fuck face, and that's everywhere. It's a meme today. Now, at the Independent Spirit Awards, Jen, Greta Gerwig wore a piece of jewelry handmade by Gail's good friend.
Oh wow.
Yes, she wore a piece of 2 pieces of jewelry from Epona Valley, which is my friend's. She does like hair pieces and crowns and all these like jewelry type pieces.
How did she think of doing jewelry for the head?
I don't know, but she like started it probably. I think she probably started like 6 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, somewhere in there. And everything was like handmade, and now like the company's just gotten bigger, so she can do like more intricate and expensive pieces. Wow. But it was like super exciting for her to have her show up.
Did she know it was going to happen?
I think that her stylist kind of gave her the heads up that he was thinking about using some of her pieces. So there was a party the night before. And I think it was something like the Women of Hollywood, some sort of gala or some sort of party before the Independent Spirit Awards. And she wore a small piece in her hair. And so my friend thought, okay, that was it. That was awesome. And so she was very excited to promote that. And then the next day saw that she also was wearing additional pieces all through her hair at the Independent Spirit. So it's like so excited.
Please wear those at the Oscars now. Please have everyone stop you and go, what's in your hair? Where do we buy those? Can I get 1 million of them? Saturday. All right, so not too big on the dresses. Neither one of you girls is too big on the dresses.
Yeah, it was Nicole Kidman who had the blue dress. It was like almost like the material was just ridiculous.
I thought it was Ben Affleck's wife had the blue dress that I liked.
Yeah, Jennifer Garner. She also had a blue dress on.
But yeah, that's the one.
Well, that's too difficult to even follow for me. That big bow right there.
I think it's so
that's
cool.
That's cartoony. Now go to Jennifer Garner's blue dress. Devil with the blue dress put in. See, I think that's kind of classically beautiful. I kind of dig the color. Not into it?
No, I like it. I liked that moment, and then I thought the Rita Moreno wearing her same dress that she wore to the Oscars, like that was like a really cool moment.
It was. The problem for her was the same skin. You know what I mean? Like the skin got a little looser. But I've loved Rita Moreno my whole life. I just always thought she was fantastic.
Yeah. But I thought that was such a cute thing to do.
She's also like one of the original Me Too's. I think it was Brando.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. It's an odd thing to not be 100% sure of, so it could be off, but he's dead. Who did he rape now? Who? Who did Ronald Reagan rape? But I was watching CBS Sunday Morning, and the woman was like, can we still watch movies by these people? Like, can we still watch The Birds and Psycho since we found out that... I'm like, why don't you make your own fucking decision rather than running around asking other people what you can watch?
I think it's up to you. I mean,
what do you want to do? Burn movies? Is that where we are right now?
That's kind of how I feel about people who, like their feelings about Woody Allen. Like, I know a lot of people are like, I don't go see Woody Allen movies. I no longer enjoy Woody Allen movies. And I go, oh, okay, that's total. I get it. I understand it. I continue to watch Woody Allen movies, but
first of all, to no longer watch the new Woody Allen movies, all you have to be is a film fan. You don't have to be... I mean, his movies have fallen off. There's no doubt about that.
They have.
You want to see the worst thing he ever did? Go to that fucking Amazon series. I watched that beginning to end.
Did you watch the whole thing? I watched 2 episodes, and I was like, I don't think I can go on. And I couldn't believe that I couldn't make myself... I couldn't believe that I couldn't just say, let me just stick this out.
Then you'd never watch anything of his past 97, because each time it's like being waterboarded. And the whole fucking Moonlight in Paris thing, overrated. It's better than the other stuff that he's been doing, but you're not going to compare that movie to classic fucking Woody Allen.
I did enjoy that movie when I saw it, but I do realize now what you're saying, that it's just like we were just hanging on to. Well, this wasn't bad.
Yeah.
There were some good moments.
The best thing about that movie that he didn't go in it. That might have been the last big movie for the Butterscotch Stallion, too. His life has fallen off quite a bit. Wow.
That's all he has now.
Wow. All right, why don't we break here? Don Jamieson coming in a couple of moments. This is Bennington. Our buddy Don Jamieson in studio. Good to see you.
You're playing my theme song of life. Don't let them grind you down, man. That's what Lemmy always said. No matter how hard they kick you, man, don't let them bastards grind you down.
It is a tough haul, though, isn't it, though? You know what I mean? Because life is so filled with powerful pricks. It is. I would say who doesn't want their kid to be a prick, but then when you see how many successful pricks they are, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the good thing is my career is at a level where I don't meet anybody powerful, so I don't have to worry about those people.
But you've always had a steady career. There's no, you know what I mean? You're better off than 95% of the people who do this.
I think there's a method to the madness, you know? It's like, I'm not a household name, but I've made a living doing this for 20 years, and I'm still gaining fans, and I kind of like to fly a little under the radar. It doesn't bother me. I like when people see me on TV and go, oh, I didn't know you were a comic. Oh, sorry. And I go, no, don't be sorry. I love that. It means, people are still discovering me, man. I don't want to just rise up, make, 30 million. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that, but
everybody can always find a Dave Chappelle to feel bad about themselves for. You know what I mean? But to make a living out of something that you dig, very, very rare. Very, very rare.
I know, but then there's these upstarts who just walk on stage and it comes natural to them after 50-something years, like Ron Bennington.
Well, you know what? It is the easiest thing in the world to do stand-up. I try to point that out to people. There's nothing
okay, easier. Educate me.
Yeah, you just go up there and say the same things you would to your friends, and then you walk over, you get a check, and leave. But I know for some people it's a struggle, and they like to have jokes. You were telling me coming in, insomnia has been bothering you lately.
I think for years too, man. Just insecurity about my career and stuff.
Yeah.
And, I'm never going to make a living doing this. And then when I accepted I won't make a living doing this, I slept.
You slept like a baby. Well, Nick DiPaolo is going through an insomnia thing, right? And he's saying, I can't sleep. And I said to him, and he was so tired, and he had taken something to try to sleep, but he fought it off, so he was very wired. And I said to him, well, your problem is you need to live a better life. You're living a bad life. And instead of laughing, he's like, You're right. That's it. You've got it. That's what happened to me with the bad life.
Stand up is the easiest thing in the world. Live a better life.
Yeah, these are all simple things.
This is good. This is good.
Vito brought up a topic to me that I found interesting in the hall. Vito, see if you can put it together and not be annoying. Say it again the way you said it to me.
So I went to a Knicks game last week, and I was hungry. Went to get food. Looked at the hot dogs, and for some reason, I thought it was disgusting to buy a hot dog at a basketball game. But then I thought every time I go to a baseball game, I have to get one there. But
there is some truth to what he's saying, right? Like every baseball game, you get a hot dog.
Yeah.
But are you at a basketball game and go, Guy, we got to get a hot dog, man. We're at a basketball game.
That is, I'm learning so much already today. This is amazing. But it's true, like a late day cup of coffee around 3, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Coffee at 5, disgusting.
That's a good point.
There's context with food.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Well, if you go to a party, right, and they give you like little things of cheese with toothpicks, so you're like, oh, this is nice.
Okay.
Have a look. But in a movie, would you sit there and have toothpicks with little tiny squares of cheese? Well, you would never do it.
There was one food I was thinking of in particular that I could never eat at a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say almost any other circumstance, it's fine to eat this food, and that's pizza. I would never want a slice of pizza while I was eating.
I've never done it. I know they sell it there, but I've never bought a slice, walked into a movie, and ate pizza.
But I can't think of another circumstance where I wouldn't go, slice of pizza, sure.
If you're
That's appropriate.
If you're at your home watching a movie on your big screen, you're going to have a slice of... Speaking of screen, what's wrong with their screens? Is somebody attacking the United States? I need to know right now.
It looks like it's a blizzard.
It looks like 2 of the 3 networks are down. Are we being hacked?
Finding out.
But you're right. You would eat pizza and watch a movie at home.
Yes.
But you wouldn't eat a pizza in a movie theater.
It's not Kim Jong-un because Fox News is still on.
They hit him first.
When you go to the movies, you want to get something that's going to wreck all your dental work for the last year and a half.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, you're right. It's pizza like beer at noon.
Yeah.
Delicious. Beer at 11:45 a.m. Disgusting.
Yeah. When you look at what point is there a time of day that you can have a cocktail? Because my aunts would wait till noon.
Yeah.
And I'm not even kidding. When we were a kid down at the beach, you would see them at 10:30. They would start to walk back and forth. By 11:40, they were in a rage. Noon,
they were enjoying themselves.
And I'm like, seems to me if that's how bad you want to drink, that is an alcoholic. You know what I mean? And I said that at 5. I don't know how to say this, Aunt Waddy. But it seems like you're in a 1 here.
I will say this. If, let's say, you're in an early brunch circumstance, and for some reason you have a cocktail, fine. But just a cocktail? Like, if it isn't accompanied by a meal?
All right,
like
that's
if you've
interesting.
let's say you just had breakfast, you finished your breakfast, and then you're like, I think I'm going to make myself a drink. That is inappropriate.
Completely
That's not okay.
Yeah. No, like you could have, if you go for brunch on Sunday afternoon and you meet up with people at noon, as long as you eat something, you could have 45 Bloody Marys.
Right. But you can't be the guy just sitting there having bloody
You just can't be, right. Or just pounding whiskey.
I don't think I can hold it down right now. That's funny. Well, even like a straight whiskey, right? You can't do that while other people are eating. You can only do it during cocktail hour. And then how many straight whiskeys do you have before people are going, you okay?
Yeah.
Is there something you want to tell? You think 3?
I think if you pound 3 whiskeys.
By the time you hit the 3rd, you mean?
It's like
I think
that's
ordering,
a good number.
I think ordering the 3rd, people start to be like, oh, you're having another one.
Yeah.
Like, you have your 2nd straight whiskey.
Yeah.
You're just like, hey, you're loosening up. But I think as soon as you order, people are like,
My recommendation, my recommendation is kill one in the bathroom. Just go in the bathroom, nail that one down.
Right.
I got one word for you, Ronnie. Flask.
Yeah. Now you could always, seriously, this is interesting. You could always shoot heroin during a Velvet Underground show, but if you're in a New Kids on the Block, suddenly everyone's like, "What's with that guy?
Yeah.
What's with
We're
that
trying to
guy?
eat pizza here.
Yeah. What is he doing?
All right.
So, Vita, what did you end up eating at the basketball game?
I just got a pretzel. I felt like that was the safest choice at that game.
No.
That's comfortable, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I think a basketball, hot dog does sound like that's almost like saying a gas station hot dog, and they might be prepared entirely the same.
Right.
And yet it feels like, ugh, how'd they make that?
Well, Vito came up with another point, which I thought he was talking crazy, but now I'm looking around. The dirty water dog in New York is disappearing, and we're just getting grilled hot dogs.
Yeah.
About 10, 12 years ago, dirty water dog had 80% of the way that you would get a hot dog.
Yeah.
Where are they going?
I don't know, because the halal carts are now just the carts in New York City.
The food trucks are so big now that you can't make money on a $2 hot dog.
Right.
You know, you got to make heroes and falafel,
right?
And, steak sandwiches. And
most food truck food blows. I don't care what anyone says. You're not supposed to have a grill in a truck. They have a guy. They sell pizza out of a truck here, right? You can't put a pizza oven in a truck. You would burn. The truck would melt.
And it tastes like it, because that pizza is not good.
I want to put a turntable in my car. Just on a related note.
Just try not to hit any bumps at all.
You know what? Now I have a theory about why the hot dog does not work at the basketball game.
Yeah.
Is the issue an indoor hot dog? Is that the issue?
You know, you can't eat. You can eat a hot dog in the park. You can't eat one in the museum.
Exactly.
You can't walk around the museum with a fucking dog going, these are some great paintings here.
I think it has a lot to do with that, too, because, like, as you're getting the hot dog at a stadium or on that line, the walls and everything look just gross. No matter how nice a stadium is. Like, you're in this, like, gray area in the side of the stadium, and you're watching it on that gross conveyor belt thing. Yeah. And there's just nothing appetizing about a hot dog inside a fucking stadium.
Well, think of it this way. You wouldn't eat a hot dog in your car, but in a convertible, enjoy yourself. It's fantastic.
And it goes the other way, too, with healthy food. Like, the last time I was in L.A., I went in the gas station just to get some snacks.
Yeah.
And they literally now in the gas stations in L.A. have kale.
Yes, yes.
I'm like, you don't get kale from a gas station.
Yeah. Gas stations have become so much more than gas, though.
But this was just like a Chevron. It wasn't,
it wasn't like a Wawa.
No.
Right.
With a Wawa attached. It was just a Chevron.
Yeah, I don't think, other than like if you're talking about like dining al fresco, if you're talking about sitting out, I don't think I want an outdoor salad.
No, I never do.
Other than if you're just saying like, okay, you're under an umbrella to like a place, okay. But if let's say you're at a ball game, you don't want to be sitting there holding a salad.
I will say
eating
this.
a salad. No. That's a weird look.
No.
If I eat a salad, I have to be with women. I can't eat a salad with dudes.
Really?
Yeah. There has to be a majority of women for me to go, I'll have a salad.
So it can be mixed company. It can be men and women both.
Yes, obviously. Because then you're like, guys, let's eat a little good today, huh? But if it was just guys, I'm not going to go, I'm going to have the salad and watch these guys eat steaks.
Well, that stereotype still exists because my last girlfriend, she was from Jacksonville. She was a redneck. She ate meat at every meal. And I was the more healthy one.
Yeah.
And I would get salads. And when they bring it to the table, they'd put the chicken livers in front of me and the salad in front of her. Like, no,
then wait, we go this way, and then the fucking busboy passes out. Like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what kind of trans world I'm living in now.
Because the insecurity does go both ways. Like, if you were a man, you'd feel a little uncomfortable eating a feminine food when you were ordering. But for me, one time I went out for my birthday with a group of friends who were actually mostly my guy friends.
Right.
And those guy friends had girlfriends who were invited, but I wasn't close to them. I was close to the guys.
Right.
And so I went to this place, and I'm forgetting the name. It's a Polish restaurant. It's a very famous Polish restaurant in Greenpoint. And it's really, really authentic. But the whole thing is it's like meat plates with like blood sausage, and instead of butter with your bread, they give you lard. And I was so I had picked the place. I was really excited about it. And my friends brought their girlfriends, one of which who was a vegetarian, the other which was like really health conscious, and the other person she was kind of just like one of those people who were like skeeved out by weird food.
Right.
And they were looking at me like I was a monster eating blood sausage and lard.
But you're not eating that every day.
Great. They were just like, you like that? I'm just like, yeah. And I realized how incredibly unladylike I was looking, eating meat plate for two.
by yourself. All right, here's one too, I think. A guy can eat an ice cream cone, right? But a guy with a popsicle? No.
Too phallic?
I don't know if it's just phallic
or is it the fruit juice?
It just looks weird for a guy to sit there with a popsicle in his mouth.
And yet, admit it, they're delicious.
They're fantastic.
They're great.
Yeah. That's a weird one. Even eating, you mean ice cream in a cone?
Mm-hmm. You never know.
It would have to be one of those big waffle cones.
Yeah, you could get a big waffle.
You can't have one of those little ones that you buy in the supermarket.
Yeah.
Where you just hold on to the bottom with the two fingers. It's got to be a giant waffle cone.
See, New York City is very much an ice cream city.
Yeah.
Like, there's just constant ice cream, even in the winter. I remember when I first moved to New York, I'm like, the fuck is everyone eating ice cream for? But you never see, there's not a famous popsicle place.
No.
In New York. And
there should be.
You would have it all, you'd have the market to yourself. There's got to at least be 50,000 popsicle fans in this town that would like to have some.
Vito, would you get a popsicle at the Knick game?
A popsicle? I mean, yeah, like a firecracker popsicle stick in Knicks game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a firecracker popsicle. All right, you came up. Maybe we need to make hot sauce fire popsicles where it's difficult to eat. You know,
I like that.
Men can.
You feel really good about yourself.
Right, you sweat while you eat it.
We brought this up with Vito. It's a mistake to buy him an ice cream because then he'll expect it the same time every day. So he'll be like, 3:20, ice cream time. Your desire to turn everything into tradition drives me nuts.
I just love chocolate favors in Montreal.
But also that he feels the need to capture the moment for some. I don't know what happens to him when he gets an ice cream cone, but he's like, we all need to take a picture. Because this happened to me.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a little embarrassing, but this was like a while back. It was like last summer, the summer before. Me and Vito took a Staples trip together. And then we came back from Staples and he was just like, what do you say about an ice cream cone? I was like, this sounds fun. Like, it just sounded really fun. And I said yes. And we both got ice cream. And I'm eating my ice cream. And I look over and he's Snapchatting us. And I'm just like, I don't want people to know that I'm just like midweek, like during office hours.
You did something. You did it short, so you get an ice cream. That's what he thinks. Yeah.
Yes. He's like, let's treat ourselves. We had a big Staples trip. We got a lot of office supplies.
Well, yeah, you were high on all those reams of paper. You're like, let's treat ourselves to an ice cream.
But this is why Vito was 510 pounds. Because anytime he does something positive, he wants an ice cream for it.
Especially one dipped in chocolate.
New Yorkers will eat cold ice cream in the winter and drink hot coffee in the summer.
It is true.
Yeah.
Coffee drinkers, there's no stopping them, man.
No.
There is no stopping them. And like that, this is one of the few things that you're allowed to joke and say, I'm addicted to this. Because you can't say it with cigarettes anymore.
No.
You can't be like, I'm addicted to this cigarette.
It's killing me.
So good.
People are like, you should stop.
I walked past 3 people smoking in the street in the last hour, and I was actually flabbergasted. I couldn't believe so many people were smoking.
Yeah.
Like, you never see people smoke anymore.
No, it's been pounded down. That's when people were saying, like, oh, they'll never take away our guns. I remember when people said they'll never take away our cigarettes. It seemed insane. I remember a friend of mine flipping out because it said, this is years ago, of course, no smoking on the elevator. And he's like, fuck this. And then and now
it's like a 30-second ride.
I know. He really liked it.
And you buy the extra pack before you went up. You know, you don't want to run out.
But they slowly destroyed that thing. And they're going, whatever they do, if they got time on their side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And plus, they start to get kids in like first grade to say, you're never going to do this, right? You're never going to do this.
Yeah.
Now we have people almost returning to Puritan ideas of sexuality. You know what I mean? Like 2 people have sex, and you're like, that's disgusting what they did. It's horrifying.
How could they?
And then you can't have a cigarette afterwards.
No, you
anymore.
can't have a smoke after. You have to go and hide in the woods like when you were a little kid and smoke.
Now, I don't smoke anymore, but I have still never really felt like a non-smoker, which is weird. Like, I still kind of identify with smokers, even though I gave it up. And last week I was walking behind a woman who, she was just walking a couple steps in front of me. And every time she passed someone, she was doing the big, like coughing.
Right.
But you could see the trail of smoke. It's nowhere near her.
Right.
But it's just like, it triggers her for some reason. And she thinks that she needs to make them feel bad about what they do. And I just wanted to be like, shut the fuck up. Leave them alone. And I'm not even smoking anymore. And I just want to be like, leave them alone. They're already second-class citizens.
You see somebody in a trance and it's annoying. You see somebody who's doing something because they've been programmed
Yes.
to do it, and that's annoying. Doug Stanhope came up with a great point because he was talking about homelessness. And he goes, we're the ones that, no, smokers. We're the ones that have to deal with the homeless now because we're out on the street with them.
Yeah, that's true.
We're out on the street. We're in the parks. You know, and we're seeing the homeless problems the way that non-smokers never have. You got no plugs today, Chris?
I got plugs. Don Jamieson is in studio. Don's headlining the Funny Bone in Des Moines, Iowa, March 8th through the 10th. Go to desmoines.funnybone.com for tickets. And Don's hosting a takeover on Raw Dog this Friday, March 9th at 3 p.m. Eastern, followed by his new album, Communication Breakdown, at 4 p.m.
Fantastic. Now, what do you do
in
during
its entirety?
Yeah. What do you do during a takeover? What happens there? Do you know?
Yeah, so at 3 o'clock this Friday, I'll take over the channel and I'll be playing cuts from my favorite comics.
Yeah.
So it'll be, Dice, Carlin, Pryor, all those people, Stanhope.
Yeah.
And then at 4 o'clock, they're going to play my album, Communication Breakdown, from beginning to end.
Now, you brought up a couple names there. Do you have like a Carlin piece that you feel like is
a place for my stuff?
Yeah, place for my stuff.
That's framed. That album cover's framed in my bathroom.
Is that right?
Yeah, that bit is so brilliant. It's like, but when you, as a comic, it blows your mind out every time you hear it. It's so clever. It's so funny.
Yeah.
And it just builds and builds and builds and builds.
Where you go, where you're traveling, and those are your important stuff. But then you're leaving the big island, going to little island. So what stuff? Yeah, it is. It is one of those things that you're just like, how do you get? So was he your first comic that you fell in love with?
I think so, yeah. When I was like 11. I used to play the George Carlin tapes. I had Occupation Fool, and I had one other one on little cassette that my friend Steve Stevenson dubbed for me. Yeah. And then on the other side was Cheech and Chong.
Right.
And I didn't get, I was 11. I didn't really get all the references, but I knew it was subversive.
Yes, it was subversive, and their voices were so funny that little kids really liked them right away. It's like, to me, Cheech and Chong were always like the Kiss of comedy, where you could be really little and going, oh, look how big that is.
Right, because they're so cartoony.
Yeah,
their voices are like...
Yeah, it's almost like wrestling. But I remember, I know I wasn't getting high when I heard... Dave's not here. And I just thought it was the...
Sister Mary Elephant. It was hilarious, but I didn't know what it meant.
Well, being a Catholic kid, that shit was... Carlin was my guy for that. Like, oh, you can make fun of the church. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that was, like, stunning to me to hear an adult acting like, hey, the church is stupid. Because your parents weren't even going to say that to you. Your parents weren't going to church, but they were saying to you, don't fuck around with any of this. And what about Pryor for you? When did you get into him?
I think, the first time I saw Live at the Sunset Strip.
It's unbelievable.
It's so amazing and depressing all at the same time. Yeah. Because as a comic, you watch it and you'd be like, if I live 100 lifetimes, I'll never even be nearly that good. Because he did it all. He was a monologist. He did characters. He did impressions. He was a physical comic. He did everything, and all of them great.
And he makes people think... like, it's always when there's somebody that great, they make other people think they could do those same things. Mm-hmm. So they're like, Pryor was so honest, and that's what I want to be. And I'm like, yeah, but he's not as annoying as you. You know what I mean? Like, he was funny because he was a train wreck and could describe that to people. Right. You know what I mean? But you don't necessarily want to be that guy. That life isn't easy when you're shooting your wife's car,
Yeah, and setting yourself on fire. Milk and cookies before bed. Yeah,
that fucking thing that somebody would even think of doing that.
Right. Running past a homeless person, a guy going, hey, can I get a light?
Now, the weird thing is, now do you feel like comedy is better than it used to be, or is it less? Because there's certainly more good comics. But because of that, I don't know if you have the kind of high peaks of a Carlin and a Pryor, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you got Louis, you got Bill Burr, you got Amy, you got Chappelle. So you do have those, but I don't know. It's kind of like almost like the world of like the Oscars last night. It was like when we were kids, there was like 10 famous people.
Yes.
That's why you watch, because you didn't want to see what they looked like, what they dressed up in, and you wanted to see who won the award. Now there's only 10 people left who aren't famous. So you watch the show for 3 minutes and you're like, I don't know the last 75 people they just mentioned. Never even heard of them. So there are a lot of comics that actually, which is good, they've carved a niche for themselves. You know, they've kind of done their own thing and they have their own audience, but they're not necessarily household
mass appeal.
name.
Yeah, that was the thing about years ago is like fucking, if you looked at somebody like Jack Nicholson, he was too big to even talk on TV. Like he didn't go on TV to promote. No. And if you would see him on the red carpet, he would just like give a wave. He wouldn't stop. And the whole point was just seeing him.
Yeah.
There's no one.
He'd order that third shot of whiskey.
Yeah. Everybody was just like...
He was the only one that was allowed to.
And you would see other famous people going, there's Jack Nicholson. There's Jack Nicholson right there. But I don't know whether we can have that kind of fame now. Because you have to work, you have to be on your Instagram and all that kind of shit. I can't picture fucking seeing like Jack Nicholson's fucking lunch. Like him sharing that with everybody, you know?
Yeah.
Mick Jagger.
Look at this chicken salad.
To this day, does anybody know where Mick Jagger is 99% of the time? And he'll live in New York. And you don't see him. You know what I mean? How the fuck?
Mystique. There's still mystique with that. There's no mystique anymore.
Yeah, there's none.
Because you're right. People are posting pictures of their dinner. They're interacting with fans. They tell them every single thing. It's like, I like to keep some stuff a secret, man.
And no one's ever saying, like Mick Jagger would be like, guys, where should I go on vacation? Here are my things I want to share with you. You know what I mean? Like, it just seemed like...
he's not going to put a poll on Twitter to see what island he should go to.
Yeah, he seemed like more of a vampire to me when I was a kid. Something that happened at night, and then it would disappear. He would come out of the shadows. I still don't know how he stays.
Yeah,
Dylan is another one. Where the fuck is Dylan right now? No one knows. But I guarantee I could find out where any of the Kardashians are within fucking 18 seconds.
Snapchatting it right now with the location on.
Right.
Well, now they call.
Yeah.
Now they call TMZ. Me and Kylie are going for coffee at the Starbucks on La Brea.
Yeah. Yeah, that is part of it, of how to get those kind of people.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was this weekend. It was like one of the Kardashian show premiered where Khloe says that she's having a girl, right?
Yeah.
And so I guess for some reason somebody had leaked information, but it was incorrect, and people were reporting just before that it was a boy. And so, like, Kim had put out some tweet, like, I just love being on group chat with my family and just laughing that the media gets it wrong. And I'm like, your life is so weird, I can't even... You're talking to your family, like, can you believe what everyone's saying about it? And I'm like, that is so weird.
Yeah.
And then it's weird that you're telling us this. Like, everything about that is weird.
How about Kiss?
Yeah.
Kiss kept their faces hidden for
years,
for like 12 years.
What was it, like 82? And they're like, let's try to shock everybody by taking off the makeup.
But they kept their identity secret all those years because you didn't have anywhere to post it anyway. And if someone got a picture of it, you'd either pay them off or you go, that wasn't me or whatever.
Wouldn't that be the best
Could
life,
never
though?
do that now.
Just deciding when you want it to be massively famous. Like, I'll be famous at the premiere and at the concert, but not at the mall or the restaurant.
Right.
That's got to be unbelievable.
That would be the dream, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, people think that they want fame, but they really want fame when you want it.
Right.
Which is, the crowd going crazy for you, or like fans waving as you enter, or whatever that thing is. But you definitely don't want to be famous, like, while you're like...
7-Eleven.
Yeah, that's not... No one would want to be famous then.
That's why this doesn't really exist anymore, but the famous novelist, where you could say, I'm Norman Mailer, make sure that I fucking get this, but you could walk along and nobody's going to recognize Norman Mailer. But we don't even have fame, like, we don't have a Hemingway of today. We don't have anybody who writes books and is famous for it. And back then, you just had to write one fucking book that was a classic. And you were done after that.
Yeah.
We don't have any Bukowskis.
No, the Bukowskis don't exist. Probably because everybody does a little bit of Bukowski when they're on their fucking Instagram. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you're focusing on your Instagram, how can you turn around and make a work of art? You know, because you're too busy trying to keep your followers entertained every day.
Yeah, it's maddening, man.
Yeah.
But that's the cult of celebrity now.
It is. It's everything that... And, you know, I saw this the other day. A YouTube channel where you get 1 million views a month. And that sounds like a lot to me.
Yeah.
1 million views. You can make $12,000, $16,000 a year off of that. So you can't even make a living at 1 million views a month.
Yeah.
Man, it's kind of weird because it kind of reminds me of, you know, okay, so this is an entertainment that young people are making and young people are consuming, for lack of a better word, right? And it almost makes me think the same idea of like, well, why do young people have money, but then they graduate college and then they take internships for jobs that like you would have given them money for. It's just like, even when they're pulling in and doing the thing that they're supposed to do and they're getting viewers, like if nothing makes money for young people, like there's nothing that they can do to make money. Well, even if they're famous, they can't make money.
Look at podcasting.
Yeah.
You're giving away something that people got paid money for years to do.
Yeah.
For years. You could make money in radio, and now you're like, I'll do radio, but for fucking free. How's that sound?
And then they go, I'm broke.
I'll undercut those Benningtons. But then, you know, Florentine did a smart thing. He made a book out of it.
Yeah.
You know?
That book is hilarious.
Oh,
too.
yeah. Amazing.
That fucking shit that he does with just attacking people's Facebook posts
so good.
Gets funnier and fucking funnier as that book is going on.
It makes me question everything I post.
Yeah, everything that
I got to think through the Florentine filter first.
Right.
Wait a minute. Is he going to destroy me if I put this thing up?
Is it food related? Is it just too obvious of a statement?
Plus,
is it too mundane?
Yeah.
You guys did something brilliant where you took stuff that people did for free, prank calling, and got paid for it. And I'll kick myself in the back of my head for laughing like a baby at those fucking prank calls. I don't know if anything makes me laugh harder than those fucking prank calls.
Yeah.
Well, telemarketers are such a great target.
Yeah, because everyone hates them.
It's deserved. Is why. Yeah. You're not bothering someone at work; they're bothering you at home.
Right. Right. You're calling me. We're just trying to have a conversation. You know.
Yeah.
And then you see the turn.
Yeah.
You know, you see how nice, you know, what nice people they are.
Yeah.
After we get them to the breaking point, and you know, a guy threatens to come down and blow our head off with a shotgun.
Yeah.
That's the guy you're going to remortgage your house with 3 minutes ago.
And the thing is like they don't hang up because they don't want to lose the sale.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that fucking let me get my brother is the funniest thing.
So funny. When we did the special where we look back at all the clips.
Yeah.
Of terrorizing telemarketers, that was like one of the silliest hours. We were laughing so
like babies.
hard.
Like babies.
Yeah, but you're also picturing two middle-aged men in concert shirts passing the phone back and forth to each other. Because we're as close as Gail and I when we do these. You know, it's not a big thing. It's a Radio Shack tape recorder and two phone extensions, and we just stand next to each other and then point at each other. You go, you go.
One time you guys said you were standing back to back and just handing the phone.
Yeah, because we couldn't look each other in the face because it would have cracked. So we only had one phone back in the early days, so we stood back to back and I passed it over our shoulder. Hold on, let me put my brother on the phone.
That is the funniest shit ever.
Don Jamieson's in studio. Don's headlining The Funny Bone in Des Moines, Iowa, March 8th through the 10th. Go to DesMoines.funnybone.com for tickets. And Don's hosting a takeover on Raw Dog this Friday, March 9th at 3 p.m. Eastern, followed by his newest album, Communication Breakdown, at 4 p.m.
Vito.
Thank you.
Give us another one of your slice of life things, because your hot dog thing had me fucking happy today. Give me another one of those things. What goes on in that?
How about could you wear schmata while you're on the radio? Is that weird?
Schmata. You would have.
I mean, no one could see your hair, Gail. You have to put the schmata on.
Do you realize there's only one place in America that you could say schmata,
and everyone knows what it is. Not one person is going, wait, who are you talking about?
I can't say schmata in Des Moines, you're saying?
I'm saying you can say it, but I don't know if they would get it at all.
You're going to have to post a picture of that.
Yeah.
So people know what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm going to guess late night Oscar night.
Yeah, it was a late night Oscar night, so I threw my hair up in a schmata.
By the way,
will.
Vito was wearing them until like 2 weeks ago, and then he got off of it. You were just wrapping your head for 2 weeks.
That's not good with his look. He looks like ISIS with his
he
schmata.
does.
Yeah. I just like a headband.
I don't see anything different between Italians and Arabs. I'm going to be totally honest with you.
Really?
Vito. Yeah, you come off the same. Look, there's your old buddy Eddie Trunk. Doesn't even look over at you anymore.
Oh, God.
Doesn't
Magic
even
is
look
gone.
over. Yeah. We had that one beautiful period of your life.
I'm going to do this show after this. You better let me in. I liked Vito's takes on life, though.
Yeah, he does. He's got a sweet thing. What are you going to talk rock with him? With Eddie Trunk when you get over there?
Yeah, whatever's going on over there.
I know he's happy because Bon Jovi finally got in the Hall of Fame, and that's important to the Jersey guys.
Yeah, I got and it's good, man. Since we screamed and yelled for so many years on that metal show because nobody was going in.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I'm not saying it was directly
It was
because of
you
us,
guys. Say it.
But Alice Cooper, Metallica, Rush, Deep Purple, Guns N' Roses, Kiss all went in now.
Yeah.
So they are being fair to the hard rock and metal artists.
I think Eddie's actually a voter now.
He is. And
Yeah.
I went to the rock. I was out in Cleveland doing some shows.
Yeah.
And I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and they gave me like this private tour, like downstairs in the vault.
Really?
Where it's stuff that they don't even show the public. Really, really cool stuff. And the woman was telling me, we're starting a little section. We're going to start inducting music TV shows into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I go, wow, that'd be great. Like 20 years from now, if you would induct, that metal show. And she's like, don't worry, Eddie's already been in touch with us about that.
Wow, dude, that would be amazing, right?
Yeah.
And there's not that many great rock shows, where people discuss rock. I don't know if anyone did it before you guys.
Well, they'll do they'll start with like Ed Sullivan probably because he broke the Beatles and the Stones and stuff. And
yeah, that was probably only because it was the biggest show in the world.
Yeah.
And you could get on that show and change, but I don't know if any fucking hard rock acts got on Sullivan.
No.
Well,
the Beatles were hard rock back then.
At 64.
And the Stones, because they had to change the lyrics.
Isn't that
right.
the
Doors.
Funniest thing is like when you listen back to music that was edgy, where they're like, what is this noise? Like pretty much you can go through every decade.
Right.
Their generation before saying, what is this noise? And then you listen to it now and it sounds totally mild and easy
She
to
Loves
listen
Me,
to.
yeah, was heavy metal. What?
Well,
What are they saying?
Now I like bands called Dying Fetus and Septic Flesh. In 10 years from now, people go, oh, they were mellow.
Yeah. Well, we had the guy in from Vanilla Fudge, and you were like, when that album happened,
That
right?
was a hard rock,
Everyone
yeah.
was like, where is this going? It's going. And now you go back and listen to it, and you're like, oh, there's an organ playing.
Right.
They were all really good musicians. They were very melodic.
Yeah.
And you're like, why did you guys panic at the time? Blue Cheers the same exact way. That freak, but I think people are still freaked out about Black Sabbath. If you still listen to that first Black Sabbath album after all these years, and you're like, something's wrong with those guys. Something's a little scary about those guys.
It's still evil.
Yeah, it is.
It's amazing. Anytime it's raining and thundering, that album goes right on.
Yeah,
because that's what the first thing that you hear on that album is the rain and the thunder.
Right,
and then those three notes.
Yeah.
The song Black Sabbath, and they're like the scariest three notes ever.
And I don't even know where that sound came from.
They don't either.
You know what I mean? Like, most of the time you can keep tracing things back. Oh, that's got like a blues thing if you go back another 15 years. But that Black Sabbath sound just came, it sounded like maybe you were walking past a factory where someone was being murdered or something late at night. Like there was a torture taking place.
Well, they were factory workers.
Yeah.
And that's how, Tony Iommi lost his fingertips that way.
Yeah.
Because he was going to quit his job in the factory and go on the road and just be a musician. And he came home for lunch and he said to his mom, I'm not going back to work today. I'm quitting the job anyway. I'm not going back. I'll just eat lunch and stay home. And she goes, no, you finish up the job properly. And that's when he went back to his job in the factory and got his fingertips cut off.
Yeah, because if you're not paying attention 100% in those places.
Yeah.
Like if you're not into it, You're going to get hurt.
And you're also talking about people who are working long hours on no sleep, and you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So that's sort of, I mean, you can kind of thank Mrs. Iommi for heavy metal because she created those stumpy fingers that he had to build, and back then they didn't have like prosthesis.
Yeah.
He built his own fingertips. So that's part of the sound too.
Just off his own.
He made it out of like plastic and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he did that for years.
Isn't that bizarre?
Wow.
Yeah.
Are we going to hit that chord that we were talking about? I saw you bring it up. Was there a reason? Oh, no, you didn't bring it up. All right. Let's jump over here to Vincent. Vincent, what's happening, buddy?
Hey, Ronnie, what's going on, guys?
Cool.
How you doing, Gail?
Hey.
I got you?
Yeah, you're here.
Oh, hey, Don, it's great to talk to you. I have a lot of time at home lately. I lost my job. I think I left it behind the couch. But I get to take a lot of telemarketer calls, and every time I have them convinced that I live at Yankee Stadium, and I get them up until the end, and they ask for my name, and I say Steinbrenner. So, like I had a security company going there to check it out. They asked me how many doors, and I'm like, well, it's more of a gate. We have about 10 gates.
Now, are you taping that or just doing it for yourself?
It's just for myself, Ronnie. I was the guy who was doing. I had all the sunglasses. You remember? And
yeah.
It didn't all work out, so I'm looking for something else.
I love that even more that he's not recording them. He's just doing it for his amusement.
Yeah, that's borderline insane, though. You know what I mean? That's like De Niro doing the stand up in front of the wallpaper.
Yeah, you're talking to me, seeing just at his home when he's by himself.
Now, Vincent, what happened with you and your sunglasses business?
Yeah, it was
giving away too many free ones.
Just like Hicks, it's all confidential. I can't discuss anything. I have a non-disclosure. And,
so they threw you a few bucks to leave, and you got time to fuck around at your house.
I can't.
You can't even say that much.
Hicks could tell you probably. It's all non-disclosure. Nothing.
Chris Stanley's got a bunch of money from an insurance claim, a slip and fall. His mom used to do slip and falls.
I can't talk about this.
And you got a 7-figure deal?
I can't talk about any of this. I signed a non-disclosure agreement. I cannot say. All I could say is there was a settlement agreed upon. That's it.
And you can say whether the check came in yet.
I can't say that.
Why can't you say the check arrived?
Because I was told by the lawyers, you can only say that there has been a settlement, and that's it. The settlement was agreed upon.
Or just write down whether the check arrived. Just write it down for me.
Okay.
Because you know enough that I won't say it on the air.
Yeah.
There you go.
Why can't
you disclose? No,
I can't.
He doesn't trust you to.
Why did you block it?
Here's the thing. I'm that kind of guy that he knows I'll take something to the
Why
grave.
do you think that me and Don are going to say it out loud?
I know Ron is a good secret keeper.
When he goes to the bathroom, I'm taking a picture of it and putting it on Twitter.
Don't do that.
All right, so what's next for you, dude, now that you're out of the sunglasses business, Vincent?
Well, I actually applied for a gig over by you guys in the marketing department, and just keeping an eye on other opportunities.
Oh, boy. It's hard when you're on the beach to try to keep the attitude up, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's going to be great. I got a lot of opportunities. I got a lot of friends out there and a lot of offers on the table. I just got to figure out how soon I want to start something and, what I want to do. So it's not bad.
Keep working on the prank calls, man. You never know. We made a living on them.
That's right.
I'll start to record them, send them in to you guys.
Peace. Take care. That would be great, actually. I would take them. Because I'm not going to do them myself.
You need a partner, though. That's another thing. It's like you can't really just sit home by yourself and answer the phone and mess with telemarketers. You got to have somebody there with you to sit with you.
What were you guys talking about in the other times? Just like bands? All of a sudden, we didn't know it, but you were prepping for doing the VH1 show.
Yeah. Right. That's all we do all day is talk about bands. We have our computers out, like listen to this new track of this band and whatever, and then the phone rings and we go into action.
My favorite part of that metal show, too, is like you guys would make lists, and then you're able to take a name off the list, and Eddie would be fucking mad every single time. Every single time. You could just see that the fun list, was way too important to him.
Well, there's still people that will come up, like if Jim and I work together, they'll come up and go, I remember that top 5 list, top 5 bass players. You didn't have Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. I go, no, that was Jim's list.
Yeah.
We blame stuff on each other. Yeah. I couldn't remember one thing from any list. I mean, I loved it. The fans remember all that stuff.
But the thing is, haven't you even done that on a car trip? Like you'll play, whether it's about movies or music, and then you really start to get furious for real.
Yeah.
You know? You're just out of your mind crazy because somebody says Spielberg doesn't belong on the best directors list.
And then you text a friend to tell them you can't believe the other people in the car. Now they're wired in. He texted back. He should be on there.
I actually texted Vito not too long ago to fucking prove a point that he was as tall as Chris. Because a bunch of comics were saying, well, who's the little guy who looks like Chris? I go, little? He's the same size of Chris, if not taller.
I'm taller than Chris.
The problem is they only see you sitting down in there.
Yeah.
Times are changing now. Then.
All right, good. Stand up.
Yeah.
And loom over people when they come in.
Yes, please do.
He's taller than you, Chris?
Like barely. He's barely tall.
They must
Still taller,
think,
bro.
They must think that when you're sitting in there that you are standing back there.
Yeah,
They're just like
the little guy.
The little guy.
I've never been referred to as
Here's
a
what
little guy.
annoys me. I could have the offensive line for the Jets in here, and yet you guys don't have an athletic bone in your body.
Oh, no.
Either do they.
That is true. You still might be able to make it.
How many times in public do people call you Vito and call you Chris?
Constantly, all the time.
In public and in here, at work, people do it.
I find it funny. Chris
Yes.
doesn't.
Vito always laughs. People come up to him like, Chris, can you just let me know about this thing? And Vito's like, yeah, no problem. And then he has a laugh about it. Chris gets furious when he is.
Well, maybe if you didn't have the same haircut and scraggly beards, be able to fucking tell you apart a little bit.
One time we were at a Chipotle downstairs in the building, and the server was like, "Hey, you guys related? You guys brothers?" And then as they were making the burritos, they wouldn't let it fucking go. Say, you guys look exactly alike.
One of them
this
goes,
is crazy.
One
And
of
then
them
they
goes,
start grabbing their other workers to say, look at these two.
One of them goes, they ain't brothers. See, I told you.
They're talking about us.
I know why it offends him, because Vito doesn't have a 7-figure settlement.
That's right. Seven
So
figures.
he doesn't want anybody to mistake them.
And the funny thing is, his mom wasn't even hurt.
Okay. There was a lot of things that happened, and I just can't talk about anything.
I may be shorter, but I'm richer, bitch.
You're a lot shorter than them?
No, I'm like half an inch shorter than Vito.
Probably
can't
2
be.
inches.
Go belly to belly and let's check the height.
If you got another settlement right now, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say not the settlement that you're.
Yeah, if like there was something
But there's
unrelated
a new
thing that
one,
happened,
right.
yeah.
And let's say you got $1 million. How much money would you give me?
I'd throw you $125,000.
Wow.
This is why poor people can't keep money. You'll never run into a rich person. They sign $1 million deal and go like this: "Hey, me and your buddies, I'm going to give you 125 for no apparent reason."
Who needs cash?
That's how they grind you down, dude.
Yeah.
That's how they grind you down, by your own fucking stupidity. So you give me 125 G's.
Yeah.
How much would you give Gail?
Gail gets 75.
75,
That's
right?
it?
That's 200. What do you give for Vito?
Nothing. Vito gets nothing.
Yeah. He gets a hot dog at the Nick
Don
game.
James gets $5,000.
Oh, I'll take that. Thank you. Yeah,
Here for this
yeah.
Very
Five
generous.
5 easy
Yeah, but I don't like this the division here.
Yeah.
You're like Matt Damon doing the extra work on that movie for 1.5 million. You did the same work and you only get 75.
It's
you only get
patriotic.
scale.
It's patriotic.
I'm part of the patriarchy, yeah.
Yeah. And in this case, it literally is. It's not even
quite
like...
literally
Yes.
the patriarchy.
She's going to hashtag me to you.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. 75's nice.
Well, you know how, like, people are always saying, like, children of the future, and, you know, we got to take care of the children. I go, yeah, they are the future. I don't have the future they have.
Yeah.
This is my present. Let me have this and keep them quiet.
It's my time.
Yeah, because it's over for me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like they want to pay these college athletes now.
Yeah.
Millennials are insufferable enough. Now you want 16-year-olds driving around in Lamborghinis? Get what happened to an education? Wasn't that worth the price of
here's the
free
thing.
education? Wasn't that okay?
Their big problem is, this is where they fucked up. They could get away with all that until the coaches started getting $10 million a year.
Right.
As soon as the coach got $10 million a year, you're like, oh, so there's a lot of money here, huh? A lot of fucking money.
Right.
And that's the problem. Is like, let's suppose there was a band. Let's suppose like when the Beatles got together and they go, we're going to take your first 5 albums, but we'll give you a college education. You ready for that?
Sounds like a good deal, right?
What's my manager making?
Through the roof. Brian Epstein actually wasn't much different than the Colonel. You know what I mean? Everyone always fucks with the Colonel because he got a lot of Elvis money. But Brian Epstein got a ton of cash.
Yeah.
All those managers get a lot of fucking money. And the way they do it is they just do it. You know what I mean? Like, they don't deserve that kind of money.
It's confidence.
It's that confidence is going, with me, you're going to make even more money. And they're like, well, I wasn't making any money before I met you.
Guess he's telling the truth.
Let's keep that going.
Don Jamieson's in studio. Don's headlining The Funny Bone in Des Moines, Iowa, March 8th through the 10th. Go to desmoines.funnybone.com for tickets. And Don's hosting a takeover on Raw Dog this Friday, March 9th at 3 p.m. Eastern, followed by his newest album, Communication Breakdown, at 4 p.m.
Did you ever meet Metallica's manager?
Cliff Bernstein?
Yeah, this guy, he looks like he looks like the last guy that you would expect to be a manager. And you're like...
he looks like he should be an ice road trucker.
Yeah, at best. He looks like he should be standing outside of 7-Eleven asking for extra change. What he's done with them has been amazing. Look at him.
Wow.
Nobody expects that at all.
Yeah.
And he was in here one day, and people were like, "How did he get upstairs?" I'm like, because he made more money than this company's worth. That's how he got upstairs.
Yeah, he's brilliant, man. Yeah.
But you can never tell who's the guy. You know, there's a couple of big comedy managers like that. That if you looked at them, you're like, they look like they're not business people at all. But everybody in the business fears them because they got a couple of guns.
What's weirder, when somebody doesn't look like a business person but they are, taking care of a band or an act that, like, they're passionate about? Or is it weird when you see somebody who seems like, oh, this is like a really edgy act, and then you see the people behind it and it's super corporate, and you're like, this guy could literally be anyone's manager. Like, this guy could be the Backstreet Boys manager, or he could be...
There was a time very early in my radio career when I was backstage for a very well-known rock act that was supposed to be outrageous, and he was in a robe and had towels around his neck to be nice and warm after the show. I'm like, this is shocking to me. This is absolutely shocking to me right now, because I thought it was going to be like pure bedlam. And I've never seen bedlam backstage. Have you? Like the kind of stuff that you read about?
Rarely.
Yeah.
Rarely. It just doesn't exist. But yet, I'm telling you, and I just did a bus tour with this band, and that's another thing. If you're on a bus, it's a whole other perception. People have to get on that goddamn bus. There's nothing going on in the bus, just like there's nothing going on backstage.
Yeah.
There's a million rules on the bus. You can't bring chicks on there. If you bring one on, you got to have sex with her in the bathroom. So that's not happening. There's no action. It's 5 guys sitting around, talking about music and watching HLN. That's it. But if there's a backstage area, even if it's 3 feet long, where you have a bus, people have to get there.
Yeah, they're trying so hard to get back there, and you get there, and there's not a lot happening.
Yeah.
No.
There's
not
like
a lot.
Some old snacks, maybe.
Oh, the same thing as comedy club snacks.
Yeah.
Just like a cheese plate and a fruit plate that's been sitting out for 8 hours.
But you're right. It is weird. Like, your representation should be a part of you. Like, if you met Gigi Allen's manager, you should look like Darren from Bewitched. Should look like a scumbag.
Chris.
Don Jamieson's in studio. Don's headline The Funny Bone in Des Moines, Iowa, March 8th through the 10th. Go to desmoines.funnybone.com for tickets. And Don's hosting a takeover on Raw Dog this Friday, March 9th, 3 p.m., followed by his newest album, Communication Breakdown, at 4 p.m. And you can get Telerising Telemarketers, volumes 1 through 6 on iTunes.
I will be
plug.
Yeah, I'll be listening to that takeover, and I'll be listening to your album. Where did you record that at?
Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio.
Really? That doesn't seem like a place you would do it from.
Exactly why I did it there.
Yeah,
but it's cool. It's called the Funny Stop. It's one of my favorite clubs in the country to play. It's just old school, bro. Yeah. It's like playing at Fenway.
Right.
Nothing fancy. It's old. You can't get sushi sent to your seat. It's hot dogs and beer and pretzels. Nothing fancy. No strip mall in the thing. And that's what the Funny Stop is. Bar food, drinks, small club. But if you get it packed and rocking, man, it sounds amazing.
Bonnie McFarlane was just there, and they booked her as Rich Voss's wife. And that is my favorite fucking story ever. Because you can't say I'm not Rich Voss's wife.
It's technically true.
But
why are you bringing it up?
Well, that's the other appeal of that club is the owner, Pete, is this Lebanese guy who English is not his first language, even though he does have a great sense of humor, but he doesn't realize even realize that's inappropriate in any way.
Isn't it great too that like you can't tell what room is going to have those kind of great acoustics and be like a great place to play? A lot of time you go into like a beautiful place and you're just like, oh, this is kind of like being in a hospital once you're on stage.
Yes.
And then
Too sterile.
Sometimes you're like, this is a shithole. And it just sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Where people leave there and go, I'm probably one of the top 10 comics right now.
Yeah. I went to a room, and I don't want to call it out specifically, but when I went, I'd heard that it was a really great room.
Yeah.
I went there. It's not in New York. And I went there, and it looked really great. And immediately when the show started, I went, oh, this is not a good room for comedy. The ceilings are massive.
Too high.
So like you just feel like the laughs kind of like just die out, float to nowhere. There was no intimacy. There was no like kind of danger. Everyone was really spread out. You have lots of room. You feel very comfortable being in the audience. But there was never a moment that I felt there was like a cohesive group of people watching a thing. We were all in our own little world.
It's funny why a lot of people do their specials and albums at theaters. Because it's a totally different animal. And like you said, the giant things, people stretch out, and nobody has that feeling of danger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one
when you
feels
have that much distance between you and the audience, that changes things immensely.
Yeah.
I mean, it changes things for music, but like music is even more performative. So the intimacy level between you looking people in the eyes or doing crowd work or whatever, or just feeling like you're connecting with people is totally gone. You're just talking to lights and like little squiggles where like the people are supposed to be.
You know, Carlin didn't even used to keep the lights up in the audience. He would just walk in, and it looks like black. And he would come in, do an amazing set that he had written, head back out to the car, and never once have seen a human being. You know what I mean? Never once had seen anybody in the audience. And he preferred that because his stuff was written like a play. I mean, it was written
it really was.
down to the last second.
And like his pacing was written into it, everything. Was
everything about that.
Yeah, but that's how this club it's got a vibe to it. It does have a dangerous thing, and I leave all the mistakes on my albums.
Cool.
If someone knocks a drink off the table, I leave. My editor's like, "I'll get that out." I go, "Don't you dare!" I want people to feel like they're sitting in the audience watching me. I don't want it to because then there's no personality to it. Then it could be in Kansas City, it could be in Dallas, it could be in Baltimore.
It doesn't matter what night it was.
Right.
You know what I mean? That is the other thing of whoever even when you go down and if you're the type of act that's precise, it's not going to be the same show.
No.
You know what I mean? It's always a different show. All right. Don Jamieson, so funny. And this Friday, we're going to be listening to you after our show as you do the takeover and then your album. Congratulations on that. Chris, give us a plug to go.
Thank you, sir.
Don Jamieson's been in the studio. He's headlining the Funny Bone in Des Moines, Iowa, March 8th through the 10th. Go to DesMoines.funnybone.com for tickets. And Don's hosting a takeover on Raw Dog this Friday, March 9th, 3 p.m. Eastern, followed by his newest album in its entirety, Communication Breakdown, at 4 p.m.
And he's also heading over to Eddie Trunk's show right now. So follow him over there and give him a listen.
Nice.
All right, we'll be back. Bennington Show. Always love having Don Jamieson in.
Yeah, that was great.
What's his Twitter for first responders?
It's at Don Jamieson, Real Don Jamieson, at Real Don.
Which is it? Chris? You're changing it every second.
At Real Don Jamieson. That is the official Twitter account of Don Jamieson, at Real Don Jamieson.
I was just thinking, I should just do an unmasked one day with him and Florentine and just the telemarketers. And I don't even know if I should just wait until they do a new one. And just because the stories, no matter how funny the content is, the stories are always the same. And he brought it up. Two middle-aged guys doing this stupid shit. And nothing makes me laugh harder. Nothing. It shouldn't make me laugh at all, and nothing makes me laugh harder. So yeah, that'd be a great unmasked, right?
I would love that.
What's the for the first responders?
At Real Don Jamieson.
Love that guy. Love him. He's just so much fun to hang out with. All right, Chelsea Market in New York City just bought. Now this is the big food place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vito, you love to go there because the Food Network's upstairs.
Yeah. MLB Network's there, Food Network's there.
All right, first of all, we're going to play this game. Tell me what you think it sold for. Oh, Chris wants to go.
I'm going to jump in. I'm going to say it sold for $22 million.
$22 million.
Yeah.
Vito.
That's a whole block of city real estate. I'm going to go.
First of all, he just did what any fucking penthouse in a low building would go for. It's $22 million.
This is a whole block of
Big ideal.
It takes up an entire city block. So I'm going to say $1.2 billion.
Gail?
I was thinking $2 billion, and that might be way crazy.
Well, obviously, that would be way crazy, and it's also too little. Even though you would win that, too little, and it's like 2 point. And Vito was right. It's 1 million.
It's huge.
Square feet. But here's the interesting thing: it was bought by Google.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Their other headquarters is like 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
So maybe this is just to make the Google headquarters bigger and bigger and bigger, and we'll get rid of Chelsea Food.
And they bought that, and they bought the pier that was going to turn into the Anthony Bourdain food thing. That's turning into Google offices all around Chelsea.
They're making sure we have no food at all in Chelsea.
Why are they taking our food?
Or piers.
It's weird, though, right?
Yeah, that's strange.
Man, I was thinking when you said it's sold, I thought it was just going to be somebody who's going to be doing a similar type thing. You think they're going to pull that stuff out?
Why? Do you think there's money in fucking brownie squares? No.
They're delicious.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that Anthony Bourdain was moving his project over there.
Please.
But he
Why
just
would
gave up on all that.
Yeah. I mean, it was a stupid idea. $2.4 billion. Chris, you wouldn't even... Yeah,
your answer was crazy.
You're 0.22.
That wouldn't get me shit in this new Google complex.
Dude, it wouldn't get you shit anywhere. Now, I was watching a thing on Rotten Tomatoes, right? And they showed their headquarters. And you feel like that's nothing, right? Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Their headquarters blow away Sirius XM. Blow us away as far as being cool and being big.
Yeah, all those type of companies have really flashy offices. And
But what do you need for fucking Rotten Tomatoes? To take other people's works and put it up and put a tomato there or not?
Bots should be able to do that job.
We just go too far with it, like you did with the 22 million.
And the 0% for
I've
the
never been
Oscars.
to Chelsea Market, so I don't know what it looks like. So I just
What?
throw
You've never been to Chelsea Market?
Never been to Chelsea Market.
I'm missing out.
How do you
Yeah,
live
man,
here?
it's great.
It was.
I don't want to go to Chelsea.
See that market every day. You
No. Why didn't he get that song when I was singing?
It was so fucking hot in here. What happened?
I turned down the air. It was so cold. I'll put it back.
1 second? You made it hot, though?
It was, yeah, just 1 second. I just tried to, I finally felt comfortable for a second.
You kidding me?
I was about to vomit.
Here's the thing. Not only does it get warm, it brings the stank on.
I welcome the stank.
It's back, Chris.
Oh, no.
Guess
Your
who's
cancer's
back? Back
In your
again.
lungs. Guess who's back? Cancer's back.
This isn't funny.
Cancer's back. Cancer's back.
He had they talked him in that he had cancer so bad. We weren't bringing it up at the time, but you were a fucking nervous wreck for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
Didn't
yeah.
stop you from smoking,
No.
man.
No, it
Yeah,
did,
jab
because
turkey.
I'm not gonna
Can I
stop.
tell you something?
Yeah.
We're too close to Thanksgiving for a jab turkey like you to be walking away. Some days when he's talking to me, I'll go like this: "Slow down. I like a little mashed potatoes with my jab turkey."
I wasn't going to stop smoking unless I got the official diagnosis. That's my thing.
Well, you could have smoked even more once you got the official. Because what's the point then?
Yeah, you would think you'd go the opposite. If there's a chance, stop smoking.
Yeah. We think you'd go to the opposite and fucking go down the fucking Chelsea Market and get yourself some nice kale.
Never been.
I don't want to go to Chelsea.
It's a market, not for me. Vito, I asked you to jump in with something and you just froze in that last break. You realize that, right?
Yeah, and I had something that I thought was good, but I got in my own head.
Dude, you can't freeze whatever you're doing, no matter what it is. Say something stupid.
I mean, that was deer in the headlights look.
Yeah.
And I was giving you the eyes like, dude, what are you doing?
And finally, I think Don jumped in and go, look, I'll just say something of my own.
I'll just make fun of Gail's
I was just like,
scarf.
schmata. I'm like, don't protect him. What was your thing going to be?
I've been really into crimes lately and just thinking what kind of
Crime?
like what kind of crime I could realistically.
Let me guess, stealing from Sirius XM? Because that's what you're doing with every paycheck.
Just thinking about what crime I could realistically pull off, and I think money laundering is really doable.
Fuck no.
You're an
That's
idiot.
way over your fucking head.
Here's my plan. So
Have you seen Ozark?
Save it, because I know they've fucking lined up. We're gonna save it, but they've lined up money laundering that it's impossible right now.
Yeah.
By the way, that's what they're getting Manafort on. That's what they're after Trump for.
Yeah.
You got to be at the top of the top to
You're
pull off money
insane.
laundering.
I mean, look, watch Ozark. His whole family could be killed at any moment. He's literally put
When is
everyone.
that coming back on?
I don't know, but I really enjoyed that.
And what is that other thing that your boyfriend got me into? That fucking weird one.
Bosch.
I like a lone wolf. I'm not going to apologize for liking a lone wolf.
He loves Bosch.
I got 2 more seasons of Halt and Set Fire to go, too. I can't keep up with my fucking viewing habits. I'm also in the McMansions that are in the 2nd episode tonight. I thought you guys would have fucking been down with that.
What's
You're not
that?
into Counterparts either.
I can't
get
watch it.
counterparts. There's no stars.
You can.
No, I can't.
I sent you the thing from people.
I know, but I still will have to buy stars. It still requires
Let
me
me
to
buy it. It's $8. Let me buy it for you. Look, let me just, I know we got somebody coming in. I'll just say this. Every fucking TV show you pricks want me to watch, I do. And I can't get you to watch one of mine. That's all
You
I'm
watch
saying.
all your shows.
What's
Really?
this McMansion
Bosch?
show?
Okay, let me check now. Do you guys watch The Last Crashing last night?
No.
Mm-mm.
It was
I did.
Roast Battle.
I was watching the Oscars.
Pete came off so bad. And I'm not saying Pete the person, but Pete the character is terrible and needs to be. I'm not going to say because I know a lot of people don't like bullying, but if this guy, if he was real, needs to be beat up. He needs to be beat up so he stops acting that way. That's what people don't forget. Forget the bullies bring some social order to the world.
They do.
They keep smart people from thinking they're such a big deal. You know? If you're so smart, let's see you get out of this headlock. Really? All the books you read. You thought you'd be able to get out of this fucking headlock. Who's the asshole? Me. I'm the asshole.
What's McMansion?
It's mafia, but for Russians. And instead of one part of Jersey, like fucking stupid thing, like Sopranos, the whole world's in play, okay?
Okay, interesting.
And a big part of it is money laundering. The thing that Vito says comes to him so easily. Who is the comic that's stopping in?
Alex Babbitt.
All right. Well, he's coming in any second. So save your money laundering for him. You got a nice song for him?
I have some music to bring Alex in with, yes.
Well, here he comes right now.
All right.
Alex, good to see you, buddy.
What's up, guys?
Alex Babbitt's coming in studio. Alex's album, Finally Defined, is coming out soon, and you can see Alex's HBO set on YouTube. Go to alexbabbittcomedy.com for all of Alex's dates and more information. And follow Alex on Instagram at Mr. Babbitt335.
Yo, the plugs are so real. Oh, man.
You
This is
deserve plugs, dude.
This is so dope, man.
I'm glad to have you here.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, there's a lot of good buzz on you right now.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, you know where there is.
Nah, I don't notice nothing.
Well, how long you been doing stand-up?
Like 7 years.
7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you deserve.
Yeah.
You deserve to have good buzz after 7 years.
Yeah, right? Right?
Yes.
At least somebody notices. That's
Yes.
cool.
But it is a grind. Comedy's a grind, right?
Yeah,
Each,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, it's something crazy. It's always like you think you got it. You think like, you know, when you first come in, you're like, I'm gonna make it. And you never make it. You just almost not as poor as you used to be. Like, that's where it is now.
And you know what? It is true. Like, there's people with TV shows going, this is almost happening for me.
Yeah.
You know, now that I have my show, it's almost coming together.
Well, that's the weirdest thing is people see people who are on TV. They see comics with shows or comics who are featured on shows. And then they're like, well, you've made it. You probably have a ton of money.
Yes.
Why do people assume that people in 99.99% of any entertainment industry
Well, you know, there used to be...
rich? Why would they think that?
Because they see TV and they think it's all NBC, ABC, and CBS.
Yep.
But it isn't, you know?
Right.
If you're getting MTV money, it's not the same kind of money.
Right.
You could work for 4 years and then stop like Ray Romano.
See, that's and I don't think they realize how like the money's not consistent.
Right.
You know, it's like you might get one real big check, which is cool.
Yeah.
But you know, $5,000 after rent for like a month is gone. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't
Right.
continue. Shit's crazy.
All right, Vito, you were telling us that you are going to start a new crime thing. Money laundering.
So, like, I've been thinking a lot about
He does not look like
I didn't fucking know you were there.
Yeah. Now, here's the weird thing, too. Look, he's there, but he's also over there at the same time.
I'm my own person.
Who is that? You got clones? Oh, y'all
Yeah,
making
we're
money.
cloning.
Y'all pretending like y'all ain't making money. Y'all got clone
Yo.
money?
Oh, yeah, we're doing well.
All right, so like I watch shows with drug dealers and stuff, and they have to clean their money up.
Yeah.
So I think the best way to launder money, what I would do, you take a little bit of the money, invest in a business, right? And then you just you just cook the books like a laundromat. Like you buy it, you invest
You're
in a
just
laundromat.
describing money laundering.
That's literally what everybody does.
That's what they do.
But all it takes is one accountant to flip on you. It's not as easy as you think.
Also, you're dealing with people who are unscrupulous characters.
Yeah.
So if you mess
Yeah.
if you mess something up, you're just acting like I'll just be like, oh, sorry, I messed this up, but next time I'll be better. Like that's not
It's
going to
over
happen
for you once it happens.
in your life.
Now,
of
for
crime.
me, with all my crimes, I'm always dealing with scrupulous people. I don't do.
You've always said you like scruples.
Is that the word of the day? And y'all just not telling me? It's like, and the number is 7. I think they thought this out more than you.
Yeah. Just small businesses, like invest in real estate.
that's
businesses.
Yes, that's what money laundering
But
is.
it's that easy. I don't understand
It
why
isn't
everybody's
easy,
not doing
dude.
it.
Why?
Now you got an accountant working full time. Do you know how hard it is to say your laundromat made $1 million?
Yeah.
So
But your 10 laundromats made $1 billion.
You can't start one fucking laundromat. How are you going to run?
But first of all, you're not even in on the money laundering scheme.
Yeah.
You got to keep in mind, the more money you make, the more people you're gonna have to watch out for.
Yeah.
You can't watch them all. That's the hard thing. You can get 10 laundromats, but 5 of them are gonna try to steal money from you.
Now the two ways that they flip money is New York City apartments.
Yeah.
And the other thing is art. Because art, no one knows how much
Right,
it
that's
costs
like if
at
you
any time.
if you say I'm an expert, I'm telling you this is what it
Right.
cost. You're just gonna have to go. I guess that's what it's valued at.
Why would
That's
she
what
lie
it
to me?
costs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to
that's
say,
smart.
this is worth $1.7 million. Well, who said? Me and 2 other guys. Me and 2 friends of mine says this is worth...
Me and
Why
these
did-
other rich guys.
Why didn't you come up with shady art dealer as your?
That's
Why do you
one
come up
business.
with... You want to launder by opening a laundromat. This is how little you're thinking. You heard launder and stayed with it.
I've just been told
You
that.
sound like an angry stepdad. Why?
I am an
You gotta think big, kid.
I've just been told that laundromats are the easiest thing to lie about because, like, nobody knows. They're the most profitable
Anything
and the
that
easiest.
is that you don't is a cash business. Okay, cash business is what you always want. That's why bars and restaurants have always done well because you don't know how much cash is coming in. But you're not going to launder money until you got $10-20 million and you don't know where to put it. No one's trying to launder $50,000.
Dude, just sell drugs. It sounds a lot easier.
But then I got to
if you
figure out how to make that money clean after I sell the drugs. And that's
You're
where the
not gonna be
laundromat
selling
comes into
weight.
play.
Yeah. Jesus.
And then also, like you said, bars. I've seen bar managers cook books, and like I don't think it's as hard as.
Here's
it
the
comes
thing
off.
that is just kind of bugging me. This whole premise came up with like if you had to do a life of crime, what he thought he would be good at. Why would you pick something this complex? Why wouldn't you
I
just be
know.
like, I'm going to sell drugs? Like, that's a lot easier.
I don't want to get into the whole like shooting and stabbing part.
The
I like
only
the
crime
business
that you
side.
should do.
People not gonna shoot you and stab you. You're making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I'm cleaning it up though. I'm the laundromat.
Here's the only crime.
He's just obsessed with the laundromat.
with that.
He just wanted to say that slang. I'm the laundromat.
Yeah. Vito, there's only one crime that you could do, and it's one you do now, and that's child molesting. Any other crime is above your head.
Do what you know. You know what I mean?
Stay consistent, bro. That's what.
Alex Babbitt's in the studio. Alex's album, Finally Defined, is coming out soon. And you can see Alex's HBO set on YouTube. Go to alexbabbittcomedy.com for all of Alex's dates and more information. And on Instagram, at Mr. Babbitt335.
Yeah, that's too real. This is so, it's so surreal. I can tell my mom I almost made it today. It's nice. What's up?
So where'd you do the album at?
West Side Comedy Club.
That's the new joint, right?
Yeah, I really like them. They show me. I truthfully wanted to plug them if I could.
Yeah, you can plug the hell out of them.
West
those
Side
ladies.
Comedy Club.
Yeah.
When I was first like running my set for like Def Jam and stuff.
Yeah.
And, they were the only club. Like I reached out to so many clubs. Like, hey, can I run 7 minutes? 7 minutes is all I wanted to run. I just want to make sure it was good. First time going to LA, just wanted that. They were the only club on their opening day. It was like, hey, yeah, you can come by, do some time. And since then, it did well. They gave me a weekend there solely out of faith. I sold out all 3 shows and I filmed those, and I used the audio from those shows as my album.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what a great idea to pull that off and go. And can I also have this audio since you recorded it all?
Yeah, it's just like, all right,
Yeah.
got to utilize it. Brought all my fans together. And, in the album, I'm also adding musical interludes and stuff like that because a lot of my fan base is through other platforms instead of just stand up.
What kind of platforms?
I host a lot of music events. I host a lot of college tours where, it'd be rappers, singers, poets. So a lot of my fans come from that realm. So to show them love, it's like, all right, let's put some music in here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Does comedy go well with that, you think? Do you feel like that there's a good connection?
There's parallels 100%. Like every other art form, they're so similar. The differences are very small. I mean, it's just like with the things we're willing to tolerate in some genres are different. Like with stand up, they have like bringer shows, which, if it's like
sure.
Early in the game, you sell tickets to get stage time, where rappers go through that same thing, but some rappers do it for longer.
I didn't know this.
Really?
This is amazing to me.
Yeah, like a lot of underground rappers and singers, the only way, because they don't have they have open mics, but not to the same magnitude that stand up does.
Right.
So they have to go through producers where it's like, all right, you can get some time, but you have to sell 15 tickets. For $20 a piece. Your people have to come. If they don't come, you can't perform. So that's where the parallels come in. Like comedians and singers can all kind of relate to that level of hustle and just trying to find a stage time wherever you can.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know who else has the same thing as bartenders now? Bartenders are supposed to have a following.
Yeah.
And they're like, I want to be a bartender. They'll go, we'll do you a Tuesday night and see how
Absolutely.
how it works.
To see if you're like a weekend, and that people will apply for jobs as bartenders. Like, look, I have a lot of a fan base. People will come out, they enjoy it, and what they're really talking is, I make good drinks, but even more important, people like my company.
Yeah.
Like people think I'm interesting to be behind the bar.
The only way I would like a bartender if I get free drinks. That's the only way.
That is.
I love this.
Every bar I go to, that's the qualifier. It's like, all right, how long does it take me to get free drinks?
Vito, you bartended for a while, right?
I ran that system for 2 years at a bar.
What was your system?
The guest bartending gimmick, where you have college kids come in and you're like, hey, you bring out 20 kids on a Thursday night, 30 kids, we'll give you another try at another Thursday, and then you get them to do that a few times, and then maybe you throw them a Friday, and they start bringing in people on Fridays. But it's all built around that initial Thursday night.
And it's built around their personality, just that they're like fun guy behind the bar.
And they also, they sit around and they work the internet. Like they'll be like telling people, hey, I need you to come out Thursday night. I really need this thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Ugh.
It sucks. It's so gross. It's so gross how the industry is. It's nasty. I hate it.
Everything about the modern times are trying to just bleed young people. You know what I mean?
It
Like,
really is.
instead of welcoming them into the industry, it's like, how do we bleed them as much as we possibly can?
Absolutely.
I'm 23. It irks me to kind of go through the process because, you know, like I have older family. So like they all taught me, like, oh, you got to work hard.
Yeah.
And then you'll get the things. And then it's like, no, that's not, it's completely wrong. It's work hard, yes, to a degree. But then it's like, you gotta be cool, like all the time, and which is cool. But then you gotta be cool before people know you're cool, and then you gotta let people know you're cool. And it's like it's such maintenance.
Yeah,
it's a no.
Yeah, it never used to be 24 hours a day either. It used to be like when let's say Eddie Murphy started, he was a comedian. And man, he showed up at 9:30. He did his act. People came and saw him. They gave him more things. But now the Eddie Murphy is supposed to be funny all day long.
Yep.
Right.
And by the way, you notice Eddie dropped out of it. He's like, I don't need this shit. It's too much.
It's hard to be cool at 10 in the morning. Like, that's a very hard. You just wake up and you're like, you know what? I just gotta be, like, it's hard. It's hard to do.
But, you know, that's interesting about an older generation saying, you know, if you work hard and you put in your time and your effort, you will get the thing. But then because nothing is an 8-hour business anymore, nothing, then you're like their standards for working hard was like work hard from 9 to 5. Yeah, sure, that's doable.
Yeah.
Working hard from 9 to 5 and then getting downtime. But if you are supposed to be on and reachable and doing things and using your social media,
you stress. Finally, you break. You run down the street with a butcher knife in your underwear. You just jab.
I hate you all.
You just jabbing at people.
Instagram. You're trying to stab Snapchat. Like,
but you said 7 years and you're only 23. You started really young doing this, huh?
Yeah, I started at 16.
Where'd you grow up?
Brooklyn, born and raised. First comedy club I performed at was it's Times Square Art Center now, but it used to be no, that's what it was. It was Times Square Art Center, but like comedy. It was like a comedy club on 42nd Street. And just found an open mic. I just because I used to study stand up even before that. Like it just gravitated towards me.
Who were your guys?
Chris Rock's early specials, and still now Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Jim Carrey, Jamie Foxx. I like performers. You know what I mean? I like those. And coming up, Dave Chappelle was like the guy, and Chris Rock was the guy. Like I watched his last special and stuff like that. It's like those were the guys, and they all started young. Like when I did the research, I didn't know Eddie Murphy until I got into stand up. My mom told me about him. I knew him as the voice.
He was another guy that started at like 16.
Yeah,
you know,
I knew him as the voice for Mulan. Like that's how I knew Eddie Murphy. But she told me about like Delirious, and they all started really, really young. And I was like ending. I was doing like some plays, some off-Broadway plays, and it was ending. And people was like, yo, you should try stand up. So I did. And that same year, this comedian, I'm going to plug him too. I like plugging him. I don't even see him that often. Jeffrey Joseph came to my high school like for career day. And I had never had a comedian come. So I believe in like science to a degree.
Were you in a performing arts school?
Yeah, but like I didn't like I was in a performing arts school, but I was shy, so I didn't really I didn't tell anybody the things I was doing. Like I did plays, and like I would just do them. And when they told me to promote, it was like I'd promote like the last day.
Yeah,
so my family did. They knew I did stuff because like they'd see a flyer like later. They'd be like, "Hey, when was this?" Oh yeah, I wanted to come to that. Like.
What school?
I went to this school called Gotham Academy. It was a second graduating class, super small. You wouldn't know it in Brooklyn. So, you know, it helped in the long run. Like, my principal, I've hosted at my high school, went back to host. My principal and teachers have come to my school. Like, I had a really good support group coming up.
Cool, though.
Yeah.
It's cool to grab that young.
Alex Babbitt's in the studio. His album, Finally Defined, is coming out soon. You can see Alex's HBO set on YouTube and go to alexbabbitt.comedy.com for all of Alex's dates and more information, and on Instagram at Mr. Babbitt335.
And why don't you plug in the West Side?
And West Side Comedy Club. Go to westsidecomedyclub.com for all their dates and shows.
And that's your home club now.
You know, I guess, yeah. I never had that. This whole time, I was looking for a home club, and I had some bad situations with clubs, and I guess they're my home club, man.
Cool. So you jump up a couple times a week there, or?
Yeah, they hit me up, like within 2 weeks or so, I'm there maybe 4 or 5 times. Yeah. So it's like, they really, I have no problem with them. Overall, they show me a lot of love. So
that's always a good thing, right? When you get that place that just like recognizes you.
They seem
as
like
a
they have an
person.
exciting thing going on up there too.
Yeah, man. Yep. And because right before they opened, I had an instance with a comedy club where a dude just did something so petty, and I was just like, I don't know where I'm gonna go now.
Yeah.
Like, and they came out of the woodworks. So.
A Manhattan club?
Yeah, man. I don't never like disrespect people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like I was practicing for the HBO thing, and I did like you know how they have not new talent, late night performances and stuff like that. So I did some late night show, and then the manager came to me, thought I jumped the line, came to me real kind of mean. He was like, yo, man, you not gonna tell me when you getting on stage? I was like, hey, man, I'm just running my set. I apologize. Came to me real mean. I was just like, hey, dude, I ain't mean no disrespect. Real mean. Still mean. I was like, yo, you finna be petty right now? he got his feelings, which I understand now when people explained it to me. I didn't mean it in a way that was like, trying to step on his toes.
Right.
It was just like, hey, this not where my head is right now.
Yeah.
Right.
He was like, oh, really? Petty, huh? And it did the most petty thing. It's like, you're no longer welcome here. Like, I was just like, dang, just, but that's the game. That's how this is.
It is, and it's got to be weird to manage those places because you're not really their employees. You know what I mean? So it's not like you work at a factory and your boss is here and you have to show him respect. It's just some guy that you see every once in a while who you're basically giving free content to.
Yeah. Well, and also it seems like if you're running a club, you have to dance that line of getting young talent, wanting them to do well in your club, but then what happens when they want to move on or do other things? You know what I mean? Like you're like, do you get upset about those things when they go across the street, or are you like, well, this is still good for us? There's a lot of ways to deal with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think, man, showing artists respect because what I like about West Side especially is because they showed me love when no one else did. So no matter how big I get, and most artists are like this, and I don't think a lot of people take that in consideration, we're emotional. So if you connect with us, especially in our origin, like The Cellar's so big because they showed so many young guys love before they were big.
Right.
And now it's like, hey, all these successful and famous people come back. They don't have to. They come back because those are the people who treated them like they were somebody before the world knew that.
And you never know when anyone is going to be the comedy version of Black Panther. You know what I mean? Like 2 years ago.
Why you look me in the eye when you said that? Black Panther.
Well, let's think. 2 years ago, did anybody even think, hey, you know what the world needs is Black Panther? No one saw it coming, right? Until it happened.
And it really was, it went from being like, normally a superhero movie has this thing where you're like, oh, there's like a lot of hype, but it really ended up being something that like was needed. You know what I mean? Like it builds.
Yeah, definitely organic in some way.
Yeah.
But again, no one saw that fucking coming at all.
Almost $1 billion.
Yeah.
In what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I don't think that long. 2 weeks, almost $1 billion. So that means, who said it? I think it was Chris Rock and somebody said racist. Oh, Sinbad. Sinbad said it. He's like, racists went to go see that movie. Because that's not all black people.
Yeah, that's not, it definitely happened very quickly that it wasn't all black people. And people, it has historically been true, though, that white people have looked to a black audience to see what's cool. And I mean, that goes back to like 1920s, you know?
Yeah, I don't say swag because y'all thought of that. Y'all not like, what's dope? That's not y'all. But it's okay.
But we like it now.
Now we like
you know what I mean? Now we're
with it.
Why'd you give me the Susan White lady voice? We love it now.
Vito, how's the money laundering business going? You moving some stuff?
Yeah, I'm invested in some small businesses right now, some real estate firms. Stash house.
He's on Tinder.
You ought to invest in a girlfriend. That's what I'd like to see you invest in.
Like a money laundering girlfriend scheme?
No, just a girlfriend.
Just a place
it's a human woman.
Not to be alone. Okay? We're worried about you. You're like a kid that's going to lock himself in the refrigerator. You see those kids on the news at night.
Are these your friends?
We love them more than anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the sad part.
Yeah, that is the sad part.
So they really know you.
Alex Babbitt's in studio. You can see Alex's HBO set on YouTube. Go to alexbabbittcomedy.com for all of Alex's dates. Alex's album, Finally Divine, is coming out soon. And on Instagram, it's at Mr. Babbitt335. And go to westsidecomedyclub.com for all all their shows and showtimes.
Now, the HBO thing, that was the Def Comedy that you did?
Def Comedy Jam.
How did that work out? And you flew out to LA for that?
Yeah. The Def Comedy Jam, it's actually called All Def Comedy Jam, but it's a revamp from the 90s show Def Comedy Jam. They brought it back. It was really cool. I did a show at Gotham. Excuse me, sorry. I did a show at Gotham, and this woman saw me in the crowd. She had met me a few years prior. Like, I gave her like my business card, and she saw me. I did really well. She was like, "Hey, I met you a while ago. Take my contact information. You want to come do this audition?" And I was like, "All right, sure. Not a problem." You know, I've done auditions before, so I didn't really stress it. And she was like, "It's for Def Jam." But truthfully, I didn't grow up watching Def Jam. Like, my dad didn't really let me see it because there was a lot of cursing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So my dad just didn't have me watch stuff like that. So I was just like, all right, whatever. Didn't really think nothing of it. Did the audition. Crowd sucked, but I did well. And I, still networking after the show because you just never know how it goes. And it turns out I talked to like friends of the booker. Like, they were like her close friends, and they were like really bigging me up. Like, "Hey, this guy was really good. Y'all should have him again." Just bigging me up like regular audience members. So she was like, "All right, come back tomorrow." And I did it. And this crowd was way better. So same set, but the crowd was better. I did really well. Got a call a couple weeks later saying I got on Def Jam.
Yeah.
And so it was cool. I was around my mom. We screamed and did all that.
That's cool, though.
Yeah. One of those comedy moments for me. Yeah.
Well, that show in the 90s was just a star generator.
Yeah.
Everybody came off of that show, one after another after another. Vito, you've always been a big historian for that, your favorites and stuff.
Yeah. Like, I grew up watching Def Jam, like the volumes on DVD.
Yeah.
Because when you're a kid, and, like, you like Chris Rock and Eddie Murphy, and that, like, they were the faces on the DVD. Like, Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle were the faces on, like, the volumes.
Martin Lawrence.
So I just used to buy those like crazy.
Nobody realizes now just how big Martin Lawrence was.
He was so massive.
Massive.
Yeah.
And, when they did that 30 Rock show, I think Tracy based everything
for Martin.
On Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, we're up together, so maybe.
Yeah. Well, he credits, because I did a thing with Tracy, and he started talking about Martin Lawrence and broke into tears. Just how much.
Really? Yeah.
That show. And Tracy's got that new TV show starting
Last OG?
soon. Yeah. And I think he's got Derek Gaines as a regular on there. And I'm hoping that becomes that same kind of thing for Derek.
Yeah.
Because that kid is insane on stage.
Yeah, Derek's dope.
Yeah.
Derek is dope, dude.
He literally makes them go through microphones because he's
banging the mic.
Oh, yeah. The fucking heel, the wall.
Yeah.
And if he's killing and the room's high, he goes higher than the room every single time.
Yeah.
Really?
He's hilarious to watch.
That's how you got to do it.
But yeah, I got big hopes. When's that show? We might be doing something with Tracy?
Yes. It looks like it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the daughter in that show.
Mhm.
Yeah, his daughter's she's a singer too. I met her from hosting shows. She's really dope. So the whole cast is amazing for that show.
Has he dropped by any clubs that you were working? You get a chance to see Tracy work live? Yeah.
No. Well, I saw him at Caroline's years ago, but I haven't seen him recently, like running his set or nothing.
It's always interesting to see people that the audience loves just out of proportion. Like long before he does anything, they're totally excited.
Yeah.
And totally freaking out just because he's
there's something about him that, like, it is just thrilling to see him in person.
Yeah. And I'll be like, should I take my shirt off? And the place is going nuts. Like, this isn't even comedy yet.
I know.
He's just wild. Just being him.
I think I would feel that level of excitement to see him if he walked on stage or he walked onto, like, the subway car I was on. You know what I mean? Like, I think it would be all the
Just
same.
He's him. That's how I saw Chris Rock at the Cellar, and that's like the dopest thing as a comedian.
Sure.
When you see a famous comedian, but then when you see the hype fade away, and then the audience is just watching him.
Yeah.
And you can see him like just running his set and not caring about what we would consider a bomb. He's just like, hey, I just got to run these jokes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter that I'm famous.
I guess you probably do have to kind of burn off that excitement energy from the audience.
But also to go, yes, I could get up here and do low-hanging fruit that they like, but I've got a bigger goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People that I knew that used to work out at the Comedy Store when Pryor was at his height said Pryor would come in like 30 days in a row. Like he would decide, I sold a special without doing anything, and he would say, this is the date for us. And they said they would come in the first night and it would be terrible. And the next night, they say a minute or two would be great, and the rest of it would be terrible. The next night, 4 or 5 minutes would be great, the rest terrible. And he just grounding, and by the end of it, he had the kind of specials that people.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor, Live and Smoking is the worst stand-up special you'll ever see. But like, it's great as an artist. Like as an artist, you get it. You're like, oh my God. When he did a joke about like sucking dick and nobody laughed. Like that's the funniest thing to watch Richard Pryor say something outlandish.
Yeah.
And people just be like, ugh.
Yeah. There are nights that, particularly with those kind of clubs that people are just like, I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know
Who's
him.
this weird guy?
Yeah. Even now more than ever, I think there's a chance of people that a lot of people in comedy think are famous, but they're only famous to people who really pay attention to comedy.
Yeah.
When you get to that range where people's moms and grandmothers know who somebody is.
Just because.
Yeah. Well, that's Tracy, I think. You know what I mean?
Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart. Chris Rock. Like, there's very few people. That's a very small window of people, actually.
Kevin Hart is amazing to me because he seems like, well, first of all, I always say this about Kevin, no matter what business he picked, he was going to be successful. You know what I mean? Didn't matter if he opened up a fucking car lot, he'd have 50 right now because he works really, really hard and his energy is there. But his material is stuff people like, but it's him that they love. You know what I mean? No one ever repeats his jokes.
It's about his energy and like the way he delivers his jokes and the way he
makes people feel.
Yeah.
People feel a certain way.
He's legendary in his, because I like his, like, especially like his first three, like Grown Little Man, and like those are like legendary specials to me.
Yeah.
But at the same token, he's just like a likable, like I love watching Kevin Hart interviews, like on what's it, George Lopez and stuff like that. Just like on YouTube, their interviews are hilarious and they're charming. You're just like, man, I just want to be like that dude. Like he's just he plays the cool guy. And that's,
dude, my favorite thing maybe that he's ever done is try to get put on the Eagles stage after the Super Bowl. And the fact that he was shocking to him. Where they were like, no, Kevin.
But they still, that's how they still know him. Because they still know him.
They were laughing. They were laughing. And later he was like, yeah, I had a few drinks.
I was drunk.
Yeah, they did the right thing. Anybody else would, that's also smart. Instead of him being mad, he was just like, I was being crazy.
You got me. Like he's swiping, no swiping the situation.
Yeah. Well, dude, so much fun having you stop by here.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Guys. Yeah,
and we're going to do this more often, all right?
Absolutely. I really enjoyed y'all.
Yeah.
I hope your drug, money laundering thing works out for you.
Vito, why not? It would be so great to see you just move to the top of that.
Just the money laundering and drug kingpin stage of my life?
Yes. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah, you don't even have to say that as a question.
I don't think he believes in you. Not gonna lie, I do. Look at me. I believe in you.
You got a believer, and you got a guy who wants to see it fail. I'm gonna keep pushing you further than what I think you can do, so I can start laughing when you fail.
You all get cut. So.
Yeah,
the eye contact is so weird. Y'all can't see it, but the eye contact, he really wants him to lose.
Yeah, I do.
Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. Straight up.
Alex Babbitt's been in studio.
Give him like a really nice plug.
Okay. Yeah, like this one's gonna be the best one.
Okay. Alex Babbitt's been in studio, and his album, Finally Defined, is coming out soon. You can see Alex's HBO set on YouTube. You can go to alexbabbittcomedy.com for all of Alex's dates and more information. You follow Alex on Instagram at Mr. Babbitt335 and go to westsidecomedyclub.com for all their dates and showtimes.
And replay of this show tonight at midnight in the East, 9 o'clock
in the West, in
LA. And well, yes, that's the whole West. Why did I just act like the only West was LA? That was really rude. That was really rude.
LA and then those poor people.
Sorry, the rest of the West.
All right, so that's it for us. See you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!